Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau.
Well, we've made it to Friday here in Canton, Ohio, Pro Football Hall of Fame week, and the enshrinement of Tony Boselli, Leroy Butler, the entire class of 2022 is now less than 24 hours away. This morning, a photo op in Centennial Plaza here in Canton, Ohio for that class. And then later tonight, coming up in just a couple of hours, the official gold jacket ceremony. And that's when the gold jackets will be placed on the gentlemen. I believe for the first time, although probably not really in terms of the measuring and everything else. And then tomorrow morning, a parade, and at noon time, KC, it'll be enshrinement into the Pro Football Hall of Fame, and the speeches scheduled to go a few hours. So we are about to get set for the culmination of this long journey for Tony Boselli and, again, Leroy Butler, who we continue to celebrate as well. Brent Martineau here, now in the basement of the Airbnb, back in the Action Sports Shack studios. It's Casey Kurtz. It is Aaron Schachter. I don't know if they've made me go down here, the rest of the team that's in the Airbnb, so I'm in the dungeon, or we're really just showing this off. We thought it was a cool backdrop. I'm not sure Casey agrees, but we got ourselves a pool table. To my right's a foosball table. Again, you probably can't see all this on the screen, but I can do some laundry for you down here if you would like. We also have another TV set up with some couches and a guitar. You want me to play guitar for you guys?
I would love it.
There's a little bit of everything here at the Airbnb.
Here's the problem, Brent. I know you got some cool stuff around you. I can see a TV back there on the stream, and I know you got the pool table and the books and stuff. It's the cinder block looking wall that makes it look like you're hanging out in prison.
That's where the dungeon part came in.
It does look very dungeony.
It does have that kind of feel. Like, listen, the one thing about that you can tell, I think I might have said this, you can tell this was somebody's grandmother's house, you know, and they turned it into, you know, whether grandma, God bless her soul, left, and they turned it into an Airbnb. And
she might be down there with you, Brent.
And it's probably... It was a good move on their part,
yeah.
But it's certainly an older establishment here. And so therefore the tile in the background. But it does kind of have also that old dive bar sense to me.
Sure.
You
know?
A
little bit.
And welcome to Canton, Ohio, folks. I mean, that's what you get a little bit here. So we've been outside, we've been out in the garage, and now we're down here where I'm actually at this bar set up. There's no alcohol, but I'm at the bar set up.
Got to get Stewart to change that. You got to send him out on a run.
National Beer Day.
It's beer day.
We don't really have to send anybody out on the run, all right? There's plenty in the fridge upstairs. In fact, I'm not sure. I think I might have bought too much. I mean, we got to do a better job of drinking this stuff.
Now Casey's really mad. He's
Bring
not
it back. Yeah, I know. Couldn't even get the invite, and there's too much.
Now there's too much beer.
Can you drink too much? Can you travel with beer? Probably not, right?
You'd have to check it, I think.
You know what?
Because you can't
I'm not
take
sure.
it through because it's liquid.
I do know this. Back in the old days, when I was working in the sports department with a sports anchor who will remain nameless because I don't want to get him in trouble, he crossed state lines to go pick up some whiskey, some A.H. Hirsch sippin' whiskey, which is supposed to be like a really fancy whiskey.
Wow.
And he brought it back over state lines. He was very hush-hush about it. He didn't want anyone to mention it out loud like I'm doing right here on the radio to the
Thousands of
tens
people
of thousands
listening.
of people listening to it. But it was good whiskey. I'll tell you that much. Nice sipping
Statute
whiskey.
of limitations, man. Statute of limitations.
Okay.
So can you travel? I'm going to ask that. Can you travel on a plane with beer?
Just got to check it, Brent.
Like, I'm not sure if that's good, though, because, you know, I always tell this story. You guys ever go, you ever bring, a bag of Doritos on a plane and it blows up?
Oh,
you know?
with the air, yeah.
Yeah,
the
maybe
pressure.
not put it in with the camera equipment, but your clothes will be a little
How
soggy.
funny would that be? You come off the plane, it smells like you're just partying in Miami for 4 days? At some foam party?
Or New Orleans.
Yeah, New Orleans.
Yeah. That's where I can smell. You can always smell New Orleans. That's like
Holy
a
smokes,
constant.
yeah. Yeah,
you
for
know?
sure.
I mean, hey, if you can't smell New Orleans, even without being in New Orleans, you might have COVID.
It's the new COVID test. Hey,
That's the
send
new
this guy to
COVID
New
test.
Orleans. Tell me if you smell anything.
If you can't smell the beer and pee in New Orleans, then you might have COVID. But anyway, we are here in Canton, Ohio, and going to battle some storms again today. I do want to tell everybody about specials we have. Special Jaguars All Access, 7 o'clock coming up tonight. on Fox 30 and CBS 47. And then we have a Time for Tony special. The Action Sports Jacks team is putting together as we speak and finishing up, and that will air at 7:30. So a full hour of coverage that we've been working on all week and even before then. And then, of course, we have Action Sports Jacks primetime, 10:30 on Fox 30, 11:30 on CBS 47 tomorrow to celebrate all the induction. And then we'll put a bow on all the coverage coming up on Sunday. So a lot to get to on the TV side of things. And, of course, we'll continue to talk about the Hall of Fame and everything else as we can set the scene from Canton, Ohio. But the scene was kind of ugly, guys, last night, if we're talking about the football game.
Yeah,
and, the Jags can't seem to get away from this. We talk about narratives, right, and all this stuff. Well, it was a stinker that everybody knows means nothing, but it still kind of feels like it means something because it was another stinker on national TV for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Let's be honest, there really was not a lot to cling on to from an offensive-defensive perspective. You had to dig deep outside of Trayvon Walker, and I know that doesn't sit well in the fan base, and it doesn't feel so great, even though, again, we can say this over and over. The game didn't count, right? They just put up pads on 5 days ago, but the Raiders certainly looked a lot better, guys.
I also think that for the fan base, it's the first time you get to see the new and improved Jaguars on the field in pads with the uniform. You want it to feel good about the team, and outside of Trayvon being in the backfield early on last night, I'm not sure you saw too much of that.
Yeah, it was ugly.
Yeah, did you sit there, though? Here's two things, okay? And I wonder this. Do you sit there on your couch watching the game, and you're like, oof? Or does it take you going on social media and, the criticism starts to build, and here we go again. Oh, we suck again, memes and GIFs and everything else, like we've seen for years. Like all those things. Is there a little bit influence on that? Or did you really sit there and be like, wow, I really expected more out of the Jacksonville Jaguars? I mean, come on. Like, what did we really expect turning on the TV last night, right?
I think if I didn't have a week's worth of conversations with you guys about everyone being out and it being hard to take anything from the game, I may have cared a little more about what was going on in the offense. But, you kind of know, like, what you're seeing out there isn't what you're going to get. So it's hard to take it seriously. But you did have some guys out there on defense. You would have liked to have seen some high tempo and some big bone crushers. You got some of that early on.
And those guys, for the most part, were getting shredded by one Jarrett Stidham. Like, that's the thing that I can't get out of my head. Like, Trayvon Walker was great, and I can feel it, eat my words coming when we get into the season with Thibodeau and all that, and I will get to that when we get to it. But I remembered, like, seeing Tyson Campbell and Cisco out there, and then I see Jarrett Stidham finding wide-open guys, and it's like, I'm not freaking out, but
those are the guys.
There's a lot of defensive guys out here, man, that are getting shredded right now. Bend don't break, I guess, holding them to field goals when most of your starting defensive team was out there. Okay, that's a small plus, but Jarrett Stidham looked a lot better, and the defense really wasn't putting much pressure on him other than Trayvon Walker.
Yeah, and listen, I feel that. So I guess the overall thing, are you discouraged off last night?
No.
Or what's your mentality? Like, because, again, I mean, this is something, I say this all the time, and I don't know how to eloquently say it, but I just continue to try to pound it home, and I understand this, and I think this is a real deal thing in Jacksonville, that Doug Peterson's like, this is a game that didn't matter, and we've been out on the practice field for 8 days. Like, inside, he's probably like, relax, people, right? He's not going to say that, but he probably was like, relax. Trevor Lawrence, newcomers like Trayvon Walker, like the guys that had just got here over the last couple of years are like, guys, wait a minute, let's not go crazy. Like, hopefully they're not probably reading social media, but some are probably like, are people really saying this stuff about this game? Like, we played 8 snaps. Like, that's probably the players' reaction. But that is something that this team, these players, these new players, they have to live with. They don't get a honeymoon. Like, there's no honeymoon for the Jacksonville Jaguars, new or old. You don't get it because the fan base lives with this for a long time. And so I always say the quicker the players can make that connection with the fan base and, like, don't worry, we'll be the ones to change this. We'll be the ones to make you feel better. And Doug has really addressed that, and I think he's done a nice job addressing that in the offseason and realizing where you have to go with this franchise, and it might be baby steps along the way. But I'm telling you, the sooner this team can wrap their arms around that and feel what the fans have felt, even though they haven't lived through it for 15 years, that'll be significant, and that will help change it around. So I'm always interested in that dynamic. If I'm a player going back on the plane last night at like 1 a.m, and I'm looking at some of the tweets, and I'm like they know this game didn't count, right? We just put pads on 4 days ago. But again, the fans come from a totally different way. We come from a totally different vantage point. We've seen this play out. We've seen this team not be able to stop a screen, not be able to run a screen. And guess what? That was on display last night, right?
Yeah.
Same old song and dance, yeah.
I mean,
It really was.
you
I mean,
don't wanna
listen, Doug
lose-
Peterson, he saw it for the first time, but we've seen it for like the
couple of
10th
seasons.
time over the
Yeah,
last 3
you don't
years.
want to lose hope when you're one game into the preseason either. So I think the fans kind of, it's a little bit of hold the line too. I saw some of that on social media. Sure, you get the funny guys, but I saw some people taking it the way you kind of would want them to take it. But, you know, talk to me again in another game or two if we're still looking at play like this, and you may see some people raising that alarm.
But to your point, Brent, it could have been anything but a screen. You know, you get beat deep, Tyron Johnson, whatever. If he brings that one in, you know, okay. But when it's screens going for 50, it's like, you know what? Not again. Not again. And it was again.
Well, and it was interesting to hear Doug Peterson's post game. It was almost like he chuckled a little bit at, like, why are they throwing screens on first and second down?
Yeah, bums.
You know, like at this time, like we're not there yet. Like
Trying
we
too
don't.
hard.
The third down is a screen down. You know what I mean? And so maybe you're not expecting. You got to remember too, there was no game planning really for this game. Like they basically say, "Hey, go get the football, go in the backyard and play," just on an organized level. That's what this is. And so I almost can see why Josh McDaniels would throw screens, but they didn't. They're not showing anything. You know, when you run a screenplay, you're not showing your offense. So there's such a weird balance in this game, and here's the big thing for me, is it's obvious and crystal clear that the Jaguars, who have won 4 games over the last 2 years, and the Raiders, who are now on the cusp of maybe being a playoff perennial team, have a whole different caliber of depth. Because
That's a good
the
way to put
third
it.
stringers, the fourth stringers, even the second teamers, like those guys are way better on the Raiders collectively. Now, on an individual basis, you might be able to say, well, this guy's better or this guy's better. But collectively, the Jags don't have a very good depth.
And I'll say this about the
That
Raiders,
was on display.
and really almost about any team not named Jaguars, Jets, or Bears right now. You're talking about 3 of those teams, Jaguars, Jets, and Bears, who are very young and inexperienced, even within their own team. Even the veterans are all relatively new on these teams versus a team like the Raiders, where they added some pieces in the offseason. But for the most part on those rosters, you have a middle-of-the-road roster in terms of age and longevity there. You got a lot of young guys on this Jaguars roster.
You know, there's other thing that, isn't it amazing to you guys what football looks like and the difference between good potential football and not so good football that exists on a 90-man roster?
Yeah.
Like the Jags, I mean, the guys playing third and fourth string yesterday, or really coming, they would be their third and fourth string guys. I'm talking like Luton and Sloter. I mean, those guys,
It doesn't compute.
they looked like they were playing a different game.
Yeah.
You know, and Stidham, by the way, and Mullins, those guys have played some. They've been around a little bit longer.
Stidham looked
they
great.
Mullins especially, right? And Stidham, you know, coming over and staying in the McDaniels system. But, I mean, just in a 90-man roster on the Jacksonville Jaguars, you take the first 45 and you take the last 45, and the difference, even with their team not even being probably great, is just so vast. Like I tweeted, it's like the Grand Canyon. How can it be there that much of a gap between what looks hopefully good, potentially good, and what just looks like it's not the same NFL game?
And then is some of that just what you know about past Jaguars teams? Like, is some of that not applicable this year? We just don't know that yet. It's hard to put. I'm having a hard time articulating what I'm trying to say here. Like, if they falter out of the gate, like we kind of saw last night, even though, like you said, they weren't game planning. It's not like they were really trying to win the game. But, you know, when you stumble out of the gate like that, is it the past seasons that kind of inform how we're going to feel about it rather than what's going on today?
Well, but come on, it does make a little bit of sense, right? If you're a playoff team and you bring everybody back and then add some more people like a Devontae Adams and a Chandler Jones, like if you're the Raiders, well, that naturally your players 40 to 60, let's just say on your roster, are probably, you can start developing that. You can draft that, right? The Jags are trying to draft
Players
1 through 40.
1 through 20.
Or 1 through 20. Like,
Yeah.
seriously, they're trying to get enough good players to be able to compete 1 through 25. They can't worry about 25 through 50 right now. So it makes sense that the Jags would be behind in the clock against the Raiders. And, by the way, that might be the case against the Browns and even the Steelers and just about anybody in the preseason because, listen, the Jags have to worry about getting out of the basement of the NFL with their first teamers. So it actually makes a lot of sense why the Jags might look bad in some of these games in the preseason. But to me, it's just eye-popping that it really looks like sometimes they have never played football. And by the fourth quarter of these things. And I'm trying not to disrespect them because I appreciate what they're doing, and I'm sure they're on the cusp. And if those quarterbacks are playing with first-teamers, it looks so much better. Like Luton had some moments, when he was in the game a couple years ago.
Yeah.
But I mean, golly, like I had Ty texting me. It's like, how is Blake Bortles not on a roster?
It's funny. Amanda said the exact same thing.
Like, how is Blake Bortles not on a roster and we got these guys throwing the ball around?
Yeah.
Are we sure he wants to be on a roster? He's living the life right now.
Yeah, no, he does. But now the answer to that is $1 million for him, and it's like $400,000 for Jake Luton.
Yeah,
But I mean, that's probably the answer. But it's and by the way, like Blake doesn't probably want to be a third stringer anywhere. He don't want to be behind C.J. Beathard. But the point is a valid one. It's still like, why wouldn't you try to get Blake Bortles on your third guy, then have what we saw last night? So. I was hoping to see a little bit more out of Luton, quite frankly, and maybe because he's been around a little bit, and he does have some good arm strength. And by the way, I thought the pocket was decent for him. He didn't get overly pressured in the game. In fact, they didn't pick up a sack. So I thought I'd see a little bit more out of the Jags in general. A little bit to like out of Snoop Connor, and let's not bury the lead. Luke Fortner and Walker Little played the entire half.
Yep.
Like the entire half.
I tried to tell you.
Casey's
By the way,
look,
Casey.
guys.
Casey,
Yeah.
here's the deal. All right?
You were right, Casey.
I lost $20.
You were right, Casey.
Casey, let the man
You were
talk.
right, Casey.
That is.
And so much so, Casey, here's what I'm going to do. Because if you had told me, if we had made this bet on Monday, all right?
Uh-huh.
And which we did.
We did.
And said, I'm betting against you. I want that Trey Lance card.
Yeah.
I really don't want that Trey Lance card, but I want the Trey Lance card.
You just didn't want to be a loser like you ended up.
I didn't want to be a loser like I am. So $20, and then you said, hey, Brent, how about another 20 if he plays? You have to pay another 20 if he plays the entire first half.
I mean, if he would have said entire first half, you would have gone up to 100. There was no way you thought he was playing a half of football.
I would have. So here's what I'm going to do.
You're going to give me $100.
I'm going to give you $40. I'm not giving you $100.
Casey's
You're out of your freaking mind if you want $100.
Me?
I was kidding. I was kidding.
Casey's making too much money.
I'm going to pay double because I can't believe he played the entire first half.
Dougie P, man. This guy understands how to play good football.
Yeah, did he? Hey, how did that look when Tyson Campbell was down on the ground?
Horrible. I tell you what. I said some horrible things about the Jags organization when Tyson Campbell went in because it looked bad on TV.
Really bad, yeah.
And I was
What
like,
did they
holy
say
cow.
that he had? Was it a stinger?
Bro,
Like,
they
what
never
did he
said,
have?
bro, I'm not going to lie to you. The broadcast was subpar at best.
Was it?
They came back and said, hey, just so you know, Jags fans, Tyson Campbell walked off under his own power.
Cool. Thanks
Yeah,
for the
like, I
info.
don't think-
And then they
I
interviewed
wasn't in
Richard
Doug's-
Seymour. I was like, okay, all right.
We're done.
And
Okay.
Doug didn't address it. Like, Doug didn't really say exactly what it was.
Yeah.
I don't think, unless I just missed it. I mean, we were in the locker room getting players, which was also very nice yesterday that we could go back in the locker room. In fairness to NBC, I didn't see the broadcast. They're actually doing two things with this broadcast, right?
Yeah.
They're promoting and celebrating the Hall of Fame, and they're doing a broadcast. In the
Lot going
broadcast,
on.
because the game's full of, backups, most part, that it's not high priority. So, but a guy gets hurt, I would think of Tyson Campbell. I mean, that got Twitter going crazy, right? When Tyson Campbell went down, because it didn't look good.
No, it didn't.
And it didn't make. Here's my point in this, and I tweeted this. What does Tyson Campbell have to gain last night? Like, what does he have to gain?
Nothing.
I can't find an answer to that.
Because he's like, I think we made the argument for Cisco, or at least I tried to on OT. Like, he didn't play a lot. I could see that when we got the inactives list. But Tyson Campbell played from the jump and got better. And you think he's one of your good starters. At least we think that. So, yeah, when he wasn't on that inactive list, you have nothing to gain other than confidence if he maybe picks one off. But, yeah, that one was truly confusing to me.
But, okay, so this is a sigh of relief. And thank goodness, by the way, the Jags came out of this game. So everything that Doug did was fine because they came out of this game extremely healthy. Mm-hmm. Like, it looks like Nate Cottrell was shaken up, but he tried to battle through it, and he's fighting for a roster spot, so that makes sense. And he actually scored a touchdown.
They featured him a bunch last night, yeah.
So, but he was definitely playing a little bit banged up. But Tyson comes out of this game. But I think it's first of all, that's great news. So, hey, Doug, you made the right decision because your team's healthy and they got some reps. Like, that's okay. Like, that's how we do this. We would kill him if Tyson Campbell was out for the next 6 weeks.
Oh, we would kill him.
Right?
Yes.
But so it's okay because it's not that way. So that's a great sign, and hope the rest of the preseason works that way. But we talked about this a lot, how hard this is on a coach. And Doug said it in his postgame. He's like, it's really hard. It's really hard to figure out what to do. But we wanted to see some of these guys and blah, blah, blah. But I also will say this. Tyson Campbell, for a moment leaving that game and scaring the fan base, is a punctuation of the way the rest of the game went. The Jags cannot afford to lose frontline guys.
Mm-hmm.
They can't. They don't have enough depth.
Not at all.
Like they when they lose a player, it hurts maybe more than 75% of the teams in the NFL.
And
And by the way, it doesn't need to be a Pro Bowl player. Like when they lose maybe an offensive lineman, the drop-off might be huge. When they lose a running back, the drop-off might be huge. When they lost DJ Chark and Travis Etienne last year, they could not run the offense they wanted to run, right? We all know that. We saw that. They could not find the replacements for those two gentlemen. So that just showed, again, this is, hey, sigh of relief. Thank goodness everybody's healthy. Thank goodness Tyson Campbell's okay. But it pounds home how important in this preseason it is for the Jacksonville Jaguars to stay healthy because we watch what the rest look like the rest of the night.
yeah, and I think even at that position is interesting because that's a position we actually feel good about on the team in general. We think there's actually some depth at cornerback, but to your point, you take out a Tyson Campbell, Trey Herndon has to step up even more. Obviously, there was no Darius Williams last night, but that's a position you think you're pretty deep at, and we saw after those guys came out that, you know, it's still pretty slim even with the depth you have.
All right, let's take a break. We are live in Canton, Ohio, down in the dungeon here in the Airbnb. It's a little bit of some weather, of course, in the area, but we've got all the festivities taking place, a lot of coverage coming up here on the show and also on the TV side, CBS 47 and Fox 30. But we're just getting started to talk about this game. It is a preseason game. Put the scoreboard aside, put maybe your feelings and emotions aside a little bit, and let's talk a little more about Trayvon Walker. Because something happened last night with Trayvon Walker that I've been covering the Jags for 15 years, and I don't remember seeing it. It's probably happened a time or two, but it doesn't even jump out to me what happened last night with Trayvon Walker, and I want to talk more about it. Plus, we'll hear from Trayvon and Luke Fortner. I didn't ask him about the bet, but we asked him about other questions.
Dude, I was I watched the whole thing. I was like, please, Brent, just work it in. Like, hey, just so you know, I lost some money.
Did you hear me say to him, like, hey, I didn't think you were going to play? Like I said something like that.
I was like, he's going to do it. And I was like, he's too professional. He's too professional.
Walker Little, Snoop Connor, we'll hear from him as well. So a bunch of interviews coming up along the way. Oh, Arden Key, who had a nice game, too. And by the way, don't sleep on Arden Key now. He said something in his interview that will play that really struck me as well. So we got a lot more Jags talk. Let's begin with Trayvon Walker, and we come back live from Canton, Ohio, here on a Friday, Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny, hot and humid today with a brief shower or storm, but many spots will stay dry through the day. Highs in the low 90s. A coastal shower overnight, otherwise partly cloudy and dropping into the 70s. For your Saturday, a brief morning shower at the beaches, otherwise partly sunny. And later in the day, an isolated inland afternoon shower or storm, but plenty of dry hours. Highs in the 80s at the beaches to the low 90s inland. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, zero-interest financing with nothing down.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime.
Yeah!
And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock-bottom rates and apply now at one-to-onefcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
Best Bet St. Augustine is hiring with competitive pay. Work at St. Augustine's newest attraction that'll be opening soon. Best Bet St. Augustine is hiring line cooks, servers, chip runners, mutual tellers, landscape workers, porters, maintenance workers, and vault helpers. No experience is required. You must be 18 years or older to apply. Apply online at bestbetjax.com or interview in person at Best Bet St. Augustine, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Best Bet St. Augustine, 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311 on I-95.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call Safe Touch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those two thieves alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The Safe Touch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know, we really need the Safe Touch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. Safe Touch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the Safe Touch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
Get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate and sell your home hassle-free. Hi, this is Mark Spain, and our offers are the strongest in the industry, so you can sell your home stress-free and make the most money. When you get a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate, there are no showings, no open houses, and no stress. Our guaranteed offer keeps you in control. Find out what your guaranteed offer would be. There's no obligation. Call 855-299-SOLD or go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Certain restrictions apply.
If you've been thinking about a new Toyota, then stop thinking and start buying during the national sales event going on now at Arlington Toyota. And check this out. Arlington's got 500 new Toyotas available, and that makes now the perfect time to slip into a new ride. Plus, you get 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it, and a lifetime warranty with your new Toyota purchase. So stop thinking and start buying. Even better, start your engine. It's the national sales event at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
An essential part of starting and running a business is managing cash flow. This involves not just generating sales revenue, but also securing financing, handling expenses, and ensuring there is working capital in order to reinvest. At SCORE, we offer advice and can direct you to resources to help address these issues. Since 1964, SCORE has helped more than 11 million entrepreneurs and small business owners. We provide free one-on-one mentoring, a library of online information, and a series of timely webinars. Go to jacksonville.score.org to see how we can assist you today.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors, with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day,
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
Man, I thought he did some really good things. There was some early good, quick pass rushes in there. He's very disruptive. Showed his length, his athleticism, his power. He's going to be fun to watch, I think, all season.
That is Doug Peterson on Trayvon Walker, and find me somebody who disagrees with that sentiment coming off last night.
For real.
I mean, listen, it's really crazy. You got to be so careful. Let's just say the Jags looked really good on the first few drives. They got a turnover. They had 5 sacks on the day. How many sacks did the Jags have all of last year?
Bro, doesn't even feel like 5.
I mean, maybe like I think they had more. It was 2 years ago. They had like 18 only.
Yeah,
but
was
I think
brutal.
they were in the upper 20s. But you get the point. I mean, they had 5 sacks on day one, again against some backups. But it's like anything we say positive, it's like, well, they weren't playing all their people. But now we want to harp on everything negative because we're talking about backups.
You got to be able to pull something out of there.
Yeah, it's a weird dynamic, right? I mean, if the Jags had just rolled the Raiders, we'd be over the moon right now. People buying Super Bowl tickets, and I'd be like, guys, relax. It's the preseason. It doesn't matter. There's very few things I think that translate from a scoreboard standpoint from the preseason to the regular season because we've seen it play out so many different ways. Brent Martineau in Canton, Ohio, and the eve of enshrinement for Tony Boselli and Leroy Butler. Casey Kurtz, Aaron Schachter back in the Action Sports Jack studios. But there is one distinct positive, the story of last night, and something I think we are getting excited about and probably should get excited about, and that is Trayvon Walker. I mean, I was excited he got a penalty.
Why? Amen.
That's how excited I was about it. Because I'm
Blow
not
it
sure
up.
it was a penalty. It was very ticky-tack.
Yeah, that was unbelievably bad. You know?
Well, apparently people say, like, helmet to helmet. But, I mean, gosh, it was
This
really
is the
bad.
NFL. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
This is the
It was
NFL, folks. Get over it. That was not a
But
penalty.
anyway, the noticeable part of that was the bull rush, right?
He
And
looked the
getting
part,
there.
didn't he, man? He was just back there.
Right. Listen, I'll tell you this. Just give you a little insight because we do get a close-up view in warm-ups. We're down on the field. And after doing our sportscast last night on CBS 47, Fox 30, hung around there, watched warm-ups a little bit. And there are just some folks in the NFL, even the NFL, where everybody's a terrific athlete for the most part. And it looks like it, you know? I mean, Tom Brady's the greatest of all time, but it doesn't really look like the greatest athlete of all time. But a lot of players, I mean, they are just amazing athletic beings. And there are some that stand out. And over the years, I've talked about this before, a guy like Jalen Ramsey. It's just, man, does he look different. He's wide, he's broad, he's long, he's fast, he's everything.
He's gone.
And then he could cover, and then he had an attitude and all of that stuff. But Josh Allen is like this. Josh Allen is a physical freak. I mean, he is – they don't make a lot of human beings that look like him. And Trayvon Walker, guys, fits that. Watching him warm up, and it's like, my goodness, look at this guy move, you know? And you're not supposed to do that. Not many people do. I think I retweeted, somebody said the 4.5 140 or something was like the fastest one for a D lineman since 2000, you know? So it's that kind of athleticism. But the biggest question has been production. And so on the first snap of the game, when you see a guy just get to the quarterback right away and then later get a sack, you're like, oh, boy, okay. Now we see why they drafted him number 1 overall. And the difference here, Aaron and Casey, I don't remember a time where I've seen someone universally 10 minutes into their career, people nationally, locally, whatever, saying this guy's going to be damn good.
Well, it's funny because up until like right after the draft pick, that was the opposite of what a lot of people outside of this city were saying, right? Everyone was like, what's happening in Jacksonville that they would pass up Aiden Hutchinson and some of these other high draft picks?
But, yeah, man, he was last night. I'm telling you, I got a feeling now I'm going to have to eat my words, and I'm comfortable doing it. I'm going to wait till you get to the regular season. But, yeah, I think a lot of Jags fans probably would have been comfortable just turning off the game after the first 2 series and going to bed on what Trayvon Walker did last night. But, yeah, first play, it's impressive, man. There's no doubt about it. It's impressive. You can say the strength of the opponent, but the Raiders were playing some dudes that have an opportunity to play in the regular season.
Yeah, and by the way, Trayvon Walker was a college kid last year, so I don't care what level of player is out there on the field. These guys are professionals, and it's his first time matching up against them, and he crushed.
It was dope.
He really – and again, guys, the idea here is can he get after the passer, right? That's what his role is. He can do a lot of things. They can move him inside. They can let him cover. I mean, he will eventually probably do a lot of things. But right now, they drafted him, and they need him to produce. And they need him to impact the quarterback. They need him and Josh Allen to be studs impacting the quarterback, something, again, this football team has not done a great job of over the last couple of years. So if they just put him there, which they said they were going to do, and just let him do one thing now and then we'll evolve him as we go and he gets comfortable, well, that was a heck of a start last night to do it. It was a couple of series. It was a couple of plays. It was noticeable. When the trenches jump out at you, heck, that's why Tony Boselli's in the Hall of Fame tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because the trenches jumped out at you when Tony Boselli played. Like, it's not often that happens when people do that. Now, it more likely happens on the defensive ends. Pass rushers certainly do jump out a little bit more than, say, those interior guys. But I just thought that was so notable. And in a fan base that is a little bit jaded and scarred for sure, for everyone to just be like universally, wow, this guy's going to be good. And I'll tell you what, I walked by Trent Baalke a couple of times, and there's probably a lot to pick apart about this roster right now, but he should be smiling, and he was smiling a little bit watching Trayvon Walker play.
Well, you know what I love? You know what
that would be a validation for Trent Baalke, and he needs it.
I think a lot of people agree with you on the Baalke point. I love the fact that I'm looking at Trayvon Walker going, all right, I want to see this guy get to the quarterback, and then you realize watching him play last night, and obviously maybe if you've watched practices before that to your point, he's going to do so much more. He's going to be one of these guys batting down passes at 6'5" with a 35.5-inch wingspan, another 1.5 when his arms are up in the air. I mean, he's going to be one of these guys in the backfield grabbing running backs before they hit the line of scrimmage. He's going to do so many things up front on that line. You just need the rest of the team to come together around him.
Well, and that's the thing, too. I mean, obviously the pass rush is the highlight, but he blew up 2 run plays. He missed the tackle on the one. He hit him on the other one. But you don't miss that tackle there, like he'll get to that point. I'm not worried about that.
Right.
But I mean, if he can do that against the run consistently as well as rush the passer, to Aaron's point, then knocking down some passes, Trent Baalke's going to be smiling for the rest of his life because literally he pulled off a move that nobody thought was going to come until it happened, and then it happened, and then he got criticized for it. And if this guy looks like this throughout the season, holy cow, Trent Baalke's getting a raise, and we're no longer calling anybody clowns.
And talk about a need. You need to step up that run defense on this team. So any help he's given there is going to be welcomed, obviously.
And listen, the run defense is about as unsexy as you can get when you're talking football and watching football. But if there's one thing I'm not concerned about with Trayvon Walker at all, it's his run defense.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's where he was a monster with the Dogs in college. And that was what they asked him to do a lot more than rush the passer. And that was the reasoning why schema 2, that he didn't have the amount of production in terms of sacks and everything else. So I don't think run defense is going to be a problem. Like, that's been a problem. That's been an issue. It's been a talking point with guys like Yannick Ngakoue in the past. That is not a thing. And by the way, Josh Allen's pretty stout against the run too. So he's a complete edge rusher like that. So just a lot to love early on about Trayvon Walker. And listen, as much as the scoreboard, I say, let's not go crazy. It's a game still some 35 days away from really counting. I also think we shouldn't go over the moon about Trayvon Walker off 2 series of play. But this organization, this town, this fan base needs a little bit of that. And so when we get a chance to get excited, let's get excited and enjoy it and see how it plays out. But the first impression, man, it was damn good for Trayvon Walker. And we and the rest of the media got a chance to catch up with Trayvon in the locker room here in Canton, Ohio after the game.
It was definitely an exciting feeling. You know, it was my first one, but say plenty more to come.
What was it like, the first action? I mean, everything, I know it's a preseason game, but still, it's your first NFL game.
It was definitely exciting just to be out there, actual on the NFL roster, out there on the NFL team, playing with other NFL players is very exciting. And something that I always remember, my first snap.
How did you say you keep yourself ready to go? A little delay, you had to wait even longer.
I had to say, this is what I've been waiting for a minute now, so I just had to stay ready.
What did they tell you, or anybody tell you anything coming off the field about the penalty? It looked kind of like it was a pretty weak call from our point.
Yeah, I didn't get really too much bad feedback from it.
Trayvon, you know your abilities, but is it still nice to kind of show them off a little bit, nationally televised game?
It definitely is, just because a lot of people doubt me or whatever you may say. A lot of people support me as well, but I know who I am and I know the type of player I can be, so I'm just continuing to grow and show other people as well.
Was this pretty seamless of what you've been doing in camp, kind of just build upon that?
Definitely. Like I said, 1% better every day. If you're getting 1% better every day, then you can't get no worse than you already was.
What do you think of the first snap? You're in the backfield already, pushing the tackle back.
I'm just like, man, I got to get there. I'm too close to not be able to get this sack or finish on the quarterback.
Were you thinking like, hey, it's my first snap though?
I was definitely thinking
it's harder than this at some point.
And I wouldn't say it would have been harder because it's football. Like I said, I've been playing football ever since I was 5, 7 years old. So it just comes natural at the end of the day once you rely on your technique and your coaching.
Being here at the Hall of Fame, long-term success, how does that kind of resonate with you?
Being here at the Hall of Fame, this is a great experience, being able to see a lot of the history of football in general. I'm a big football fan, so It's very interesting to me to see a lot of the things that's in there, and for me personally, I was very excited to see myself in there from the jump.
Are we going to see sack dances? You got anything in the repertoire upcoming?
I might have a little something for y'all.
That's Trayvon Walker last night in the locker room here in Canton, Ohio, after he put on quite a show in his NFL debut. And guys, it's an interesting thing for me to watch because the big-time college programs really can protect players now. And so they don't make them available all the time. They don't have to talk to the media. But Trayvon Walker is a very humble, quiet guy, but he really knows how to handle himself, too. You could get that sense yesterday. Like, he has even that kind of star possibility where this isn't new to him. This isn't to him. He even said it. It's like, listen, I mean, I've been playing football forever. Like, this is what I do. Like, it doesn't matter if it's high school, college, NFL. This is what I do. I go at quarterbacks. I make plays. I beat the guy in front of me. You know, and he has a very business-like approach to it. So I don't really know what that means, but I always am interested to see, especially early on, how they deal with that. And he was the guy last night. Everybody was talking to him, more than the quarterback. Usually it's the quarterback or another player, but he was the guy last night. And he was the story for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A good debut for Trayvon Walker. Let's take a break. We talk more about the Jags. We talk more about the enshrinement here in Canton, Ohio, as we wrap up a heck of a week, and a big-time week for the city of Jacksonville, and, of course, the Jaguars as well, despite the loss last night. And how about this? 1 week from today, it really does start to ramp up. I mean, Trevor will likely be out there. Travis Etienne, we'll see if he plays. That first-team offense, that we'll get a glimpse of them next week against the Cleveland Browns. And, there's a bunch of stories heading to play the Cleveland Browns with the Deshaun Watson situation, too. So we are 1 week away for the Jags preseason game number 2. We'll talk more Jags when we come back here on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 in Canton, Ohio, all week for Pro Football Hall of Fame week. And that means the inductions of Tony Boselli and Jacksonville's Leroy Butler as well. We'll have you covered Thursday and Friday into the weekend as well on the TV side, CBS 47, Fox 30, on social media, and right here on ESPN 690. Join the show live before kickoff between the Raiders and the Jags on Thursday, 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
How long does it take to tackle a home project? With Angie, you could cross it off your list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, indoor or outdoor, repair or redesign, and we handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. You don't have to lift a finger, except to tap the screen or click the mouse. Plus, Angie is free to use. So bring us your next home project, and we'll bring it home. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
O'Reilly. Don't risk getting stranded with a bad battery. Our professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts will test your battery for free. If your battery does need to be replaced, we'll help you find the best battery for your vehicle and your budget. Don't wait until your battery is dead. Get it tested for free today at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Hi, I'm Mike Combs, professional contractor and TV host. I love helping people, but when it came to improving the water in my own home, I needed help and turned to the water experts at Connecticut to make it right. My water was causing visible problems throughout my home, and it got me thinking about the problems I couldn't see. Protecting my water-using appliances and pipes, preventing stains and hardness buildup, and having clean, great-tasting drinking water are all important to me. But choosing the right water treatment equipment can be tricky. That's where Connecticut comes in. A Connecticut water expert will test your water for free and recommend the system that fits your needs and budget. Improve the quality of your water and your life with the Connecticut water treatment system. I'm so glad I did.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com for your free assessment. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
If you're involved in a legal dispute, call me, Glenn Levine, a board-certified civil trial lawyer at the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000, and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
There are 16 spots in the playoffs and just one track left. Well, not just any track. Daytona. A last chance to keep playoff hopes alive and for fans to experience an event unlike any other. NASCAR weekend at Daytona International Speedway, August 26th and 27th. Get your tickets now at DaytonaInternationalSpeedway.com.
Not 100, not 200, not even 300. I'm talking 400 pre-owned on the lot, ready to test drive at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. All makes, all models, all waiting for you to test drive and take home today. Plus, Arlington's 30-day exchange program comes with your purchase. That's 30 days to love your purchase or exchange it. Your next great ride is waiting for you at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Now that the kids are back in school, I can see the beating the house has taken. The carpets, the tile and grout, the area rugs, and even the sofa needs a good cleaning. If your home needs some cleaning, give Zero Res a call. Right now, get 50% off tile and grout ceiling. Zero Res spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
I'm getting my kids ready for back to school. I'm Heather. I'm a Jacksonville mom, and every morning I start my day with Action News Jax.
Welcome, everyone, to Action News Jackson.
I'm Jada from Orange Park. I watch Garrett for my weather.
We are seeing some clouds jump.
He's a certified meteorologist, and his forecasts are always the most accurate.
And I'm Lisa from Fruit Cove. I can't waste time in the morning.
We've got some breaking news this morning.
Action News Jax gives me what I need so I can get my day started.
So we're telling moms everywhere to do what we do. Start your morning with Action News Jax.
The roar of our engines, the pump of our heartbeats, the pedal to our metal, the sparks that ignite us, the pistons that push us, the passions that drive us. From the feelings that move us to the places that pull us on the roads that unite us. With nearly 6,000 stores and over 17,000 auto care centers, Napa has America's largest network of parts and care, here to keep you firing on all cylinders.
Hey everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with the ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Well, I think there's timing issues when you know quarterbacks and hitting quarterbacks and when you can hit quarterbacks and all this kind of stuff, and it's just going to come from just watching it, learning from it. But that's something you just you never try to slow down his athleticism and power that way, but he'll learn from it and be better.
That is Doug Peterson. I think he was talking about the penalty, right?
Yeah.
And I wasn't in there for Doug because we were getting locker room, and I was just so excited to be able to get in the locker room again. It's amazing. 2019. It's like, hey, I'm Brent. Nice to meet you. Who are you? So many of these guys are new, and I can't tell you the different dynamic. And I do think it's a good thing. Not just for the media, by the way. I don't say that. I don't talk like that. What's good for us? I'm talking about for the fan. I think some of these interviews that we were able to push out yesterday after the game, those are good for the fan. Like, it's hard to get those in a Zoom setting.
Yeah.
And hard to do as many of them in a Zoom setting. So, anyway, that's my little. I'm so happy to be back in the locker room.
You really are ecstatic.
We're happy for you, Brent.
By the way, I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I think the entire media is.
Well, we weren't there, but
Casey.
So I could,
Always comes back to you, Casey.
Literally does.
It really
Every time.
does.
Every time.
Almost every time. But
I gave you 20 extra bucks today, and it still comes back.
Listen, I'm going to tell you what. I know why I'm not in there, right? Because you think I'm a loose cannon. Like, you think I'm going to say something stupid. And by the way, if I was in there last night, I would have said something stupid to Luke. Fortner probably got us all kicked out. So it's a good thing I wasn't there.
What would you have said to poor Luke?
Something about gambling on the game, and then it would have violated some policy. Next thing you know, me and Brent are gone. We're like in Canton, Ohio jail for gambling on the NFL. We're never allowed to cover it. Goodell's got us blocked. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
How about the Bold City guys? You know what? We're going to get to a bunch of things. This is better. Do you see the Bold City Brigade guys? Cap and others. Dilla, I think, was involved. I don't know exactly who was in their section.
Yes.
But they had, so I saw Cap. He tweets out our next Hall of Famer. And I thought he was talking about Logan Cook. Because
that would
Cook
make sense.
was punting, so it would make sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of a joke. He's like the MVP. Well, they were talking about the guy in front.
I knew it was the boy
I
in the
didn't
seat.
know the story at the time. The guy, he wasn't really a streaker, okay? He just ran out on the field. But
he was clothed.
He was clothed. And so I was like, man, that looks like the guy that ran on in the field.
Yeah, talk about half-assing it, though. If you're going to run out on the field, you might as well go full Monty.
Well, the story gets better. It's like they were urging him to do it.
He wasn't going to do it.
There's a community chest to get him to do it.
They gave him $300 to do it.
So there you go. Is that enough for bail, though?
No, that's my point. Like, you're insane, dude. Like, $300?
Bail and a ban. He's never going back.
We don't encourage running on the field, but I really don't encourage running on the field for just $300.
I know. I mean, make it worth it.
I think if there's anything Casey has taught us is that, like the $1 Million Man used to say, everybody's got their price.
And amen. I have my price to run on the field as well.
What's your price, Case?
Definitely not $300. Do we have any idea how much it costs to get out?
I can't imagine it's more than $1,000, right? And $750 or so, maybe.
I need $2,000 then.
$2,000. I'm not like big. I don't.
No, but I will do it for real.
I need $2,000 to watch you streak. I don't know about you getting $2,000.
Like, I'll do the whole thing. I'll actually try. I'll try to hit a security guard, and I'll be bum naked.
You can't hit. You have to juke the security guards.
Yeah, I think don't hit.
That's true. No, I meant like a tackle.
I'm not encouraging this kind of conversation.
Neither am
I'm just
I.
saying, if you're an idiot enough to do it, don't do it for just $300.
Well, Casey is an idiot enough to do it. And I'm not trying to encourage you, Casey. But if you do it and you juke 2 security guards, Brent will give you an extra $1,000.
I've never understood. By the way, a lot of people. So the old stories, and I probably just know some of the stories and half of it, and not missing all the details. But it used to be in some places, there was like a jail inside the stadium. For
Philly's
people
got one. Dallas
right?
got one. Yeah, sure.
Philly does Philly still have it in the new stadium?
Oh, you know
Or
what?
is that
I'm
just
not
an
sure.
old, like,
It
throwing-
definitely was in the old stadium because I saw it. But
That was like throwing snowballs at Santa people, you know?
yeah, drunks. It's a whole drunk tank. Yeah,
Yeah. So, well, and keep in mind, last night there was a 40-minute delay, and you know what that means?
drinking
More beer sales, right?
Amen.
And we, by the way, that was noticeable.
Yeah,
Noticeable
As
that
a-
it was more beer sales.
a
So,
Bud heavy crowd when everyone came back, huh?
but so I don't know. I think somebody said up in the press box that at least the rule here is it's 3 days. You go on the field, it's 3 days. I don't know if that's a state of Ohio thing or like a Canton, Ohio thing.
How's that even allowed? I mean, ultimately, you got to wait until you're arraigned or seen by a judge or something, but they make you wait 3 days for that.
3 days, apparently. So then I don't know what like the fine would be. And then again, the whatever else you got, I don't even know. I haven't
You
been
know what
arrested.
it might be? It might be that they don't do court on Friday, and they definitely don't do it on Saturday, Sunday. So maybe
Hey,
that's what it is.
An update to the guy. Amanda just tipped me off to this, but apparently somebody saw him after the game on Twitter, and there's a picture, so he might not have actually gone to jail.
May just kicked him out or something.
Yeah, because this is him looking at the picture. So, yeah, it looks like he avoided some jail time.
Good for him.
Really?
It looks that way.
He's the true MVP.
Or it's one heck of an imposter.
Well, that's interesting.
Did
You know
anybody
what I
else
did-
wear a tie-dye tank top to the game? Like,
You know what I thought about with that situation? This crossed my mind. Like, I wonder if they've ever had, because that guy was very calm, right? I mean, he just
Very
kind of
calm.
ran out there and then, okay, I'll turn around and go. Like, it was very simple. And so I wondered for a moment, I'm like, do they plant people to do this to test the security?
Oh, all right. Corporations do this with their IT infrastructure. You might be right, Brent. They may be, what do they call that? Pressure testing, I think.
Yeah, but
It's a
now
plant.
listen, we know the story behind this one, so that wasn't the case, but it actually ran through my mind.
Or-
and I was like, I wonder if this might be a new security outfit, so
That's
let's
a good
test them out.
question.
You know?
hear me out on this. This guy's a genius and knows he's running on the field, so he encourages the people around him to get a pot together. He then pockets the money to do the job that he was already paid to do.
I like it.
He might have pulled the fast one on the Bow City
Come
Brigade
on,
guy.
could
I
you
like it.
imagine? That's the business model right there.
Pretty good.
Holy
Pretty
cow,
good.
that guy outsmarted us all in his tank top.
So it's like, you know how they have those like food testers and movie critics?
Mm-hmm.
This guy's like a pretend streaker.
Check the security and how good they are. I like it.
Guy didn't have to get unclothed. He didn't get like tackled. He got $300 out of the deal, and he wasn't even in jail for the night.
It was the embodiment of a preseason on-field run.
Yeah, the streakers aren't in full form. Wait till October.
They need
These
more
guys will be
camp.
ready to roll.
Yeah.
In all seriousness, we don't encourage any of that. But I thought that was a wild situation last night. $300 was not enough for me.
$2,000, Casey.
$2,000 is the going price, I guess.
$2,000.
If you're going to be an ass. We'll be
Or
back.
show yours. Either way.
I'll do both.
That's right. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 from Canton, Ohio. We talk a little Tony Boselli with someone who knows him very well when we come back on ESPN 690.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are energized by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab a sample of Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime. Yeah! And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock bottom rates and apply now at one-to-one-fcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
The all-new 3-row 2022 Acura MDX Type S has been unleashed. Type S raises the bar for performance with more power, more agility, groundbreaking tech, and incredible 3D surround sound. Shop MDX Type S today. FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call Safe Touch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those two thieves broke it, call 911. Safe Touch camera, and you and I would have been notified with actual on our smartphones. The Safe Touch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know. We really need the Safe Touch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. Safe Touch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the Safe Touch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is officially open. Whether you're looking to board your pet during a vacation or looking for a place for them to play during the day, look no further. Forever Vets Pet Resort has officially opened its doors. With roomy, climate-controlled indoor play areas for big and small dogs, shaded outdoor play areas with a splash zone, and private cat condos including access to a cat tree-filled oasis, your pet will feel right at home. Forever Vets Pet Resort will provide a comfortable place for your pets while you're away and ensure your four-legged friend is safe and happy during their stay. Take advantage of a free day of play to all new clients. And if you purchase one night of boarding, you'll receive half off your next night. Want to learn more? Give us a call or go to forevervets.com. You can also stop by for a free facility tour. We're open 7 days a week with extended hours for your convenience. Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is now open for reservations.
O'Reilly. Protect your vehicle's engine with Syntec and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Syntec Premium Full Synthetic Motor Oil is formulated for today's engines to dissipate heat and reduce friction and wear. Right now, get 5 quarts of Syntec Full Synthetic and a MicroGuard Select Oil Filter for just $33.99. Try Syntec today, exclusively at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Wendy's new Strawberry Frosty is here, so check your watch. Is it Frosty time yet? It probably is. The hour hand would be on, I'm feeling snacky. And the minute hand would be on, relaxing with a rich, creamy Strawberry Frosty on a summer day, just digging into that smooth, chilly deliciousness and vibing. You know, depending on what kind of watch you have. When it's time for Frosty time, choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Frosty in Classic Chocolate or New Strawberry.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
I'm Doug Brown. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says today the 9-year sentence given to Brittany Griner in a Russian courtroom compounds the injustice since her arrest. Meanwhile, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says Russia is now ready to talk privately about a prisoner swap involving Griner. The NFL Players Association will respond to the league's appeal of the 6-game Deshaun Watson suspension by the end of today. Then, according to ESPN's Jeff Darlington, the ruling on the appeal could come pretty quickly.
I guess the long and short of it is the NFL has not given me a timeline, but it seems very reasonable, them understanding needs to be expedited, that by, I'd say, midweek next week. Total guess on my part, but just in terms of the vibe here, I think that would be when we'd expect a decision to come down.
Jeff Darlington on Key J and Max. The first-place Dodgers get back home tonight against the Padres. Before the game, they'll hold a ceremony to honor Hall of Famer Vin Scully, who died Tuesday at 94.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all of your car care needs. We're close, convenient, and known for our guaranteed everyday low prices and excellent customer service from professional parts people you can trust. Stop by your local O'Reilly Auto Parts today. O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day.
Live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine Studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau.
For me, from poverty, African Americans, special needs kids, I believed my whole life, which I never really cared about because I just ignored anything that was negative. And my grandmother told me that I had a unique gift, and it was to just concentrate on things that was more positive. So I thought about my mom who passed away 6 years ago, and all of a sudden, you try to get emotional. Freddie, you know that. But sometimes you think about the big picture of all the kids who are growing up like me. They're saying, I can maybe do the same thing. Matter of fact, I can do it. So that makes me feel very good.
That is Leroy Butler, and he will be inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame tomorrow at noon, along with Tony Boselli. Enshrinement ceremonies in the afternoon instead of the evening. Brent Martineau here in Canton, Ohio. What a week it's been. And one of the things I love about Boselli and Butler, there's a few things really I've noticed. They are really enjoying the moment. I mean, the perma-grin has been terrific to watch, smiling and really soaking it in. I think you could see that last night on TV when they took to the field. The other thing about both of those guys, Boselli and Butler, they know the impact on the city of Jacksonville this has. They know the impact on the Jags this has for Boselli and where Butler grew up and what this means and the pride that comes out of it. So I really give them a lot of credit for recognizing that and knowing that and really joining hands as this class of 2022 with this significant Jacksonville connection. And we're having a blast covering it. It's fun to watch, and it will culminate tomorrow here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame in Canton, Ohio. And right now, we welcome in a longtime PR guy for the Jags, director of communications, probably had like 15 titles along the way. But as we say, he's an OG. He's an original guy in the Jags organization, much like Tony Boselli being the first ever draft pick and now the first Pro Football Hall of Famer. Dan Edwards, now in retirement, which I hope you're enjoying, is up here in Canton, Ohio to celebrate with Tony Boselli. Dan, thanks for taking a couple of moments. And this seems like a big deal for Jacksonville and the Jaguars, doesn't it?
There's no question, Brent. It's a really big day, and I think I knew that coming in, but I think seeing how many Jaguars fans were coming up on the planes and how many people are here from Jacksonville, and as you said, not just for Tony, but for Leroy also. So it's a big day for football fans from Jacksonville.
Dan, you've been around this thing from day one. What did you know it from day one or early on that first season, how great Tony was? I wasn't here. I didn't live through that and see that, but many of you did. Did it hit you right away?
Yeah, you knew coming in that Tony was special because of the way Tom Coughlin talked about him and the way he described him at his size to be able to move the way he did and the feet he had and the hands. So, as excited as Tom was about him, I think we all saw that very quickly, that he was right. This guy was really something special. I don't think you ever look at a guy in his rookie year and say that's a Hall of Famer, but there was no question that he was different and elite and had a bright future.
Dan Edwards joins us on ESPN 690. When you see from your position, you're right inside, in the trenches with everybody in that organization, and from day one, which also is extra special, to watch a guy mature and grow up and maybe some of the ups and downs and be so close to it, it almost must feel like your own kid is going into the Hall of Fame tomorrow.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good way of putting it because, Tony came in as a rookie, and I was going to say a raw rookie. He wasn't real raw. He was pretty polished when he began, but that's just part of it. You guys have to learn to be pros and have to grow up and learn how to handle the business and all the things that come at him. And Tony obviously has done a great job of doing that. He handled the media. He became a spokesman for the team very quickly. People in the room respected him, listened to what he said, and the media obviously gravitated to him. And so you're right. It's like watching one of your kids grow up and graduate.
We have this recency bias, I think, in all walks of life, and we know what we're living in or what we've seen in the last couple of years or few years. And what we've lived through ever since I got to town, unfortunately, in 2008, is not a lot of wins. It's been a lot of tough times. But you saw those glory days. I mean, those glory days were impactful, meaningful, still resonate with a lot of people that made that plane trip up to Canton, Ohio over the last couple of days and will celebrate tomorrow. Is it important for this to take place to remember that the glory days of this organization, at least as of now, and hopefully there will be many more of them, but this next step for something like this to happen, is it important to kind of put an exclamation point? And hopefully, by the way, he'll soon be joined by the likes of Tom Coughlin, Fred Taylor, and maybe even a Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, I agree. Hopefully this is the first of what will become many Hall of Famers from the Jaguars. But I think, there's so much that goes into it, and there's so many great memories from the early years. And you're right, there was a lot of good winning and playoffs early on, and then that kind of went away. And it occurs to me that a teenager in Jacksonville now has probably never seen more than one winning Jaguar season, because the last 10, 11 years, whatever it's been, there's only been one winning season. So we need to turn that around. We need the next generation of fans to see that this franchise can win and will win, and just kind of try to erase the past and get past that. And hopefully with the team this year starting last night, hopefully there's going to be a lot of winning in the future.
Dan Edwards, who recently retired from the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's kind of a behind-the-scenes guy, but you know the name if you've followed the Jags for a long time, and he's been with the Jags since day one and is up here in Canton, Ohio to celebrate Tony Boselli tomorrow, an enshrinement day in Canton, Ohio. I came in 2008, I mentioned that, but the process I started to follow, Dan, I was at every Super Bowl when they voted, and he was a finalist, and unfortunately he got the phone call instead of the knock. But I don't think people realize this part. You guys really picked it up on your end, too, to make a push for Tony Boselli, right? Can you give us a little insight on the presentations and what went into that? And we had Sam Kavaris on yesterday talking about his presentation and how he had to, talk to the committee about Tony and why he should belong in the Hall of Fame. But what did it look like from your end? What did you guys try to do as an organization?
Well, we did a lot. As you said, there's a lot behind the scenes, but beginning with when Tony first became a finalist. It's in a sense, it's kind of like having a Heisman trophy race. You've got your candidate, and you want more people to know who this guy is and how good he was, and especially for somebody that's been out of the game for a few years. And unfortunately, a lot of those voters that are on the Hall of Fame committee did not see Tony play. They weren't covering the game when he was playing. So you almost have to paint a picture for him, and we actually changed our tactics every year. We did a mailer, did a kind of a glossy one-sheeter with his facts and figures. And one of the challenges with an offensive lineman is you just don't have stats. It's not like a running back or a quarterback. So we had to rely on a lot of quotes from other people. So I started gathering quotes from players that he played with and against, from Hall of Famers, people like Bruce Smith and Jason Taylor, and tried to find the people that were going to say, yeah, this guy was great and he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. And then really push those out to the voting committee. We sent them mailers, and we put together video clips that we sent to them all. So again, the effort was really, Tony's going to get in on his merits, but our job, I felt, was to kind of educate not just the voters, but maybe football fans in general, about Tony and how good he was and the player that he was and why he deserves to be honored this way.
Hey, Dan, Aaron Schachter here. Long time no talk, man. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah, Aaron, how are you?
Great, man. I'm glad to hear your voice, man. It's been a few years. I was kind of curious, if you learned anything through the process with trying to get Tony into the Hall that maybe you, or even obviously you're retired now, but the organization takes forward with them as they start looking at players like Fred Taylor, Jimmy Smith, or even guys like Tom Coughlin.
Yeah, I think we kind of created a good template with Tony, and of course, finally, we were successful, and he got in. So I agree. I think Fred, Jimmy, Tom Coughlin, there are going to be other guys that deserve consideration and deserve to go in. And so I think, as you said, I'm not going to be doing that anymore, but I think we established a kind of a good baseline for how to go about it and how to educate the voters. One of the other things I really enjoyed about the process is getting to know a lot of these people on the committee. There were 48 selectors on the committee, and I did not know all of them. I'll bet I knew half of them at least from just over the years working with them, but I was able to reach out to a lot more and talk with them and kind of establish a relationship. So that was part of the enjoyable thing also was talking to more people about Tony, not just about Tony, but about the game. And I think going forward, that would be the case as well. We need to make sure that there's a good relationship going forward with the committee.
Dan Edwards with us on ESPN 690. All right, I'm going to let you go, man. But you got the festivities. There's going to be a lot of emotion, I think, from Tony for a lot of people around him. A lot of pride. It's almost in a weird way. I can't believe it'll be done. Like we don't have to try to push Tony anymore to the Hall of Fame. It's kind of strange. I mentioned that to his sister Jennifer when I was out there in Colorado. She's like, "Yeah, I don't know what we do next." Like it's kind of a weird deal, but it's an awesome one.
Yeah, everybody just enjoy it while we can. It's great.
Yeah. Well, and I think you will. There'll be a big party on Saturday night here in Canton, Ohio. How much fun will that be to kind of really put the exclamation point, put it in the rear view, and also it'll be like a Jags reunion. I'm sure there are so many folks that from over the years that will be there.
Yeah, it really will be. There are going to be a lot of former players and coaches here for that, and obviously Tony's family and friends and a lot of Jaguars people. So, yeah, it's really going to be nice to celebrate Tony and his accomplishment. And I know he's got a lot of people that he wants to thank. And I think Tony's handled this whole thing great. I admire the way he handled the disappointment for 4 or 5 years in a row of not getting in after being a finalist, but then the way he's handled it with class this year. So, yeah, tomorrow night's going to be a great celebration of him and his career and his family.
Well, Dan, have fun at it. Thanks for taking a few minutes. You're a big part of it. Tony Boselli getting into the Hall of Fame here in Canton, Ohio. So thanks for the time, man. Enjoy the weekend.
You too. Good talking to you guys. Thanks, Brent.
All right. That is Dan Edwards, a longtime PR guy and one of the best in the biz. In fact, recently, I don't want to bring this up with him on the phone, but we celebrated Dan when he went into retirement. And you should have seen all the folks that showed up for that party.
Oh, I bet.
And toasted Dan. And you really got an appreciation. I always appreciate Dan anyways. He's been awesome to me since I've been in town. And I got a new level of appreciation for how much people respected him. And I think that's what will be interesting tomorrow night. I think you'll see that. I think, Tony, it will sink in tomorrow. Around noon or 1 or 1:30 when he makes the speech. But then I think tomorrow night when he sees this big party, and by the way, it is a big party. I won't tell you the dollar figure on it, but I've heard. And I think it will sink in even more to see all those people up close and personal. And I think he'll get more than 6 to 8 minutes to deliver some thank yous at that time.
Yeah.
So cool day, cool part. Wanted to bring in some of the folks that are behind the scenes on this because I think the process has been pretty neat to watch unveil. At times been very frustrating. But I think you asked a good question, Aaron. Does it lay the blueprint? And I'm a big believer, and I said this to Sam yesterday, I'm a big believer that this move to get Tony Boselli in does now knock down that door.
Opens that door, opens that glass ceiling up. And the thing is, when it's unsuccessful, it's, you learn lessons from those too, but I don't know. Sometimes you tend to focus on things went wrong. We got to do it differently. But when it's successful, that success leaves clues. And so you talk about guys like a Fred Taylor, like a Jimmy Smith, who might be a little more on the bubble than some others. Certainly Tom Coughlin. What about this, though? What about over in Indiana? You got the Mascot Hall of Fame. Where's Jackson at?
Is that where it is in Indiana?
In Whitting, Indiana, man. Let's get Jackson.
And he's not in it yet?
No, they got a bunch of schlubs in here, a bunch of bums, as Casey would say.
A bunch of bums.
Do you want Boomer from the Indiana Pacers in there? Or do you want
Boomer.
Jackson DeVille?
Who the hell is Boomer?
So who gets in? Does the mascot get in, or does the guy that was the mascot.
It looks like the mascot. I don't see any real names up here. It looks like the Philly Fanatic is up there. The Suns Gorilla is in there.
Got to.
Yeah, the Oriole Bird, I don't know. Mr. Met, he deserves to be in there.
Well,
he should be
to be honest with you, I mean, Curtis and Jacksonville, I mean, it changed the game in the mascot business.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. That guy was a celebrity as a mascot in and out of the costume. He deserves to be in there, man.
Yeah, that's wild. I didn't even know that existed, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't either. When's the?
Are we going up for that week?
We should.
That would be awesome.
And then have Curtis just jump in from the roof of whatever building is closest. He doesn't even need the costume.
When do they let people go in for that? When's like the induction?
I got to read more about it.
Okay,
Casey,
I thought it was
Casey,
up on the screen. I don't.
You couldn't make the trip.
You
couldn't make the trip to see Boselli get into Canton, but
I can go to
the trip we have to get into. We'll be staying in an RV.
Yeah,
we'll be staying in that prison bus that Minshew had.
Listen, I tell you what, I'm always down for a good trip, fellas. That's all that matters. Doesn't matter, Tony Boselli, Jacksonville, either way, I'm just happy to be there.
Man, great to have Dan Edwards on talking about it. A big-time party tomorrow here in Canton, Ohio, and should be a lot of fun. I think it's worth repeating what we're seeing. It's pretty wild, to be honest with you, because Tony's been here since last Thursday. He told me yesterday he played a little golf, so he snuck in early, and then he hurt his back. Like I think I said this yesterday on the show, but he is really dealing with a bad back right now. Like it's been an issue.
That's tough.
And he's getting physical therapy and some medication and everything that it takes. And he's been able to get to the events, thankfully. But it was like middle of the week. It was a concern, like a big time concern for him. And so he's wrestled with that. He's obviously got family, and when you got a lot of family, heck, even if you just have 5 people of your family coming in.
It's too much.
It weighs on you sometimes,
Yeah.
right? You want to take care of them, or what do they need to do? What do I need to do for them?
Everyone have their tickets. Do they know where to be? Do they have the times? Yeah.
Now, in credit to, again, we talked to Jennifer Wright, really. It's not Boselli anymore. She's married. But she said the family was taking care of a lot of that. And they were bringing everybody. Like, this is a date. This was their family reunion.
So, like, Tony's third cousin twice removed is going to be in the crowd.
Everybody. And so,
As they should.
And it's a big family. They have a big family. So that part of it is interesting to me. And so the wild thing is I didn't see Tony, and we were here Tuesday night, but I didn't see him until yesterday afternoon for the first time. And then we saw him obviously go out on the field. And then I saw him, and I tweeted this video of him leaving the game yesterday, and he was signing some autographs for people on his way out.
Those were not my people, by the way. I think those
weren't your people.
Yeah,
that's right.
Those
weren't your people.
How funny would that have been, though, if they were also my people? But anyway, go ahead.
And then today, again, the photo op with all the other Hall of Famers. In fact, I just retweeted the Jags Twitter, and it's with all the Hall of Famers that are here in Centennial Plaza.
Wait, all of them? Like every Hall of Famer in, or just this year?
No, everyone that's come back for the ceremonies.
There? Is Bruce Smith in the picture? Somebody pull it. I'll do it.
Well, Bruce Smith will definitely be here.
Where's my phone?
And the thing about Bruce is, and Sam said this yesterday, like, Tony doesn't think it's as big a deal as everybody else.
But Tony's a good guy. Like, you wouldn't expect him to do that. Like, we're going to rep it the way it should have been repped. Tony's going to do it the way a nice guy does it.
And I saw the interview last night with NBC, and, man, could you see the smile on Tony's face? Like, he's enjoying it, right?
Ear to ear.
Like, it's great. Like, that's really cool. But my point is, it's hard to enjoy some of these things in the moment and soak it in. And people say that about Super Bowl week. Like, if you go to the Super Bowl, they're like, oh, man, I wish I really would have enjoyed it a bit more because it went by so fast and I had all these responsibilities and I was practicing and I was trying to stay focused. But I can see that. And I think these guys are doing a fantastic job of really soaking it in. I think the Hall protects them a bit. Like, the Hall does not make them available to any of us.
That's pretty interesting. You would think the Hall would want them front and center, right?
Well, they got them front and center doing a lot of things, but I think that's their way of protecting them. That we're not a lot, like, we're all here. And by the way, it doesn't sit well with all of us, and we can't talk. I actually stole like a minute of like an interview for him while he was signing autographs yesterday. I'm not sure if I was supposed to do it, but they just don't make them available, which is really odd. But I would say this: everything else is well run. Like, from the game yesterday, the access to the Hall and what you're allowed to do, I think everything has been really classy and well done and accessible for the media. Like, we can't complain. I think the only thing to complain about would be, it'd be nice to be able to talk tomorrow afternoon to Tony after he gives the speech, or Leroy Butler. And we're not allowed to do it. I think some of the network folks have been able to do some things, like NBC last night during the game. But that's a little odd to not have a chance to talk to the central figure of why you're up here.
Yeah, you're your home guy, yeah.
Yeah, and so anyway, that would be the only knock. But again, I want to make sure I say this: it's really run well. Like, this is a cool thing to cover. It's the first time I've covered it, and I think the Hall does a fantastic job, and it's a fun event. So if you have a chance ever to come back, and hopefully another Jag will be in, I think maybe Tom Coughlin next, put it on the list because it's really cool to be a part of it. And I think these guys have really enjoyed it, and I like to see that. We'll see what happens tomorrow. Parade in this small town. Hopefully the weather holds for that. And then coming up the enshrinement at noon again, which is scheduled probably to last about 3 hours. And I like that it's at noon rather than in the late evening. Like that, I don't know if that's just a media guy talking, or I just think that's better because now these guys can go have a party tomorrow night.
Yeah, like if you want to go have dinner with your family. Sure.
Yeah. Because they want to celebrate with their family and everybody, right?
We got to get this in. Who runs the Jag social media?
Well, I think it's a few.
Can we clap it up for them, please? I'll tell you why in a second.
Oh, it sounds like they used the picture to
Why is nobody clapping?
Shade Bruce
I'm dead
Smith.
serious. Let's clap it up, please.
We're clapping. What did they do?
In the photo, you see all the Hall of Famers. Then in the top left corner, you see a little Jags logo covering the face
of
Bruce Smith.
You think they did that on purpose?
The pettiness is real.
I don't think it was an accident, Brett.
Oh, it was actually. Oh, it wasn't like a corner logo. They actually put
the logo on his face.
Good.
That is
Good.
amazing.
That's what you get.
Like, I'm not sure they should do that, but that is amazing.
That's it.
Like, Tony may not like it, but we do.
Bruce Smith.
That is. You got to go see that if you can on Jaguars Twitter. That's really good. That's really good. So petty on Twitter. Absolutely love it. All right, let's take a break. We come back. We go back to the game last night. We asked some questions, or really Casey asked questions yesterday. How did those results pan out? What we were talking about, some of the topics to watch. And got to talk a little Arden Key somewhere in here, too, along the way, because 2 sacks. Is he about to elevate his career coming off a nice season, a career season last year? And that could be a sneaky good signing for Trent Baalke, Doug Peterson, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. We are live in Canton, Ohio, here on a Friday. Continue to celebrate Boselli and Butler, Jacksonville Jaguars, city of Jacksonville. What a week in Canton, Ohio.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Partly sunny, hot and humid today with a brief shower or storm, but many spots will stay dry through the day. Highs in the low 90s. A coastal shower overnight, otherwise partly cloudy and dropping into the 70s. For your Saturday, a brief morning shower at the beaches, otherwise partly sunny. And later in the day, an isolated inland afternoon shower or storm, but plenty of dry hours. Highs in the 80s at the beaches to the low 90s inland. From the CBS 47 and Fox 30 Action News Jax First Alert Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, 0-interest financing with nothing down.
Hey, poker players. The Summer Heater Poker Tournament Series is at Best Bet Jacksonville from August 11th to the 21st, featuring 11 different poker tournaments, including the main event, a no-limit hold'em tournament with a $1,500 buy-in from August 19th to the 21st. If you're looking for an exciting poker tournament this summer, visit us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Florida's largest poker room. View the tournament and satellite schedule at bestbetjax.com. That's bestbetjax.com. Don't miss it.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are energized by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab a sample of Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
Hi, this is Keith Gurr, president of American Window Products. We are Jacksonville's oldest replacement window company. We have been providing excellent service for over 38 years and still have an A+ rating. At American Window Products, we have helped over 36,000 homeowners, and we don't use subcontractors. Right now, we're offering a free installation on 6 or more windows, as well as a free energy package. Go to AmericanWindowProducts.com and click for an estimate. That's AmericanWindowProducts.com. American Window Products, we are the window professionals.
Bank how and when you want to with Community First. Get free checking with rewards and free digital tools that make managing your money simple and life simply better. Add an account at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Happy anniversary to them. Put their experience to work for you. Discover how good your water can be with a new Connecticut softener and drinking water system. I've had mine for a handful of years now. Absolutely love it at the house. Connecticut's twin tank, non-electric softeners are the most efficient softeners available, and their drinking water systems remove up to 99% of contaminants. If you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Don't be the filter. Call today and save hundreds, even thousands on a complete home solution for city and well water. Financing available with approved credit. And because the professionals at CGC Water are committed to being your go-to water experts, you can trust their master plumber with all your plumbing needs as well. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com. Right now you can take advantage of the $75 drain cleaning special. Call for details. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I'm a proud customer of CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Connecticut dealer.
The Tech Coast Conference brought to you by KPMG is back October 3rd and 4th. Jacksonville is a dynamic hub for technology and development. The Jacksonville Chamber IT Council is excited to again showcase Northeast Florida as a tech leader of innovation and creativity. Be a part of the Tech Coast Conference to highlight your company as a tech innovator. To participate or sponsor, log on to techcoastconference.com for event details. That's techcoastconference.com.
It's where I take my family to play golf, and you can take yours as well. The Golf Club at Southampton. It's the home of the Action Sports Jacks Dream 18, and it can be your golf destination. Enjoy your golf experience by calling 287-PLAY, 287-PLAY. Play some golf or maybe practice some golf at one of the newest facilities in the area. Grab some lunch or dinner, too. Southampton has it all. 287-PLAY for tee times and more. The Golf Club at Southampton, the home of the Dream 18. My home course. Make it your home course, too.
I want to take more chances with the embroidering.
Henley's vision for a new clothing line is coming into focus.
Dramatic.
They'll need an on-staff photographer to put their collection in the spotlight.
Why is no one taking shots of these?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Have you ever noticed that when the afternoon light hits your floors, you can see everything, including dust?
So much dust.
And that floor dust gets kicked up into the air, compromising the quality of air you and your family breathe.
Eesh.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper is the fast and easy way to clean your floors, with ultra-thick pads that trap and lock dust before it gets in the air. Just a couple minutes a day.
And dust is gone.
Swiffer Heavy Duty Sweeper. Proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard, because this game is so it's so violent, and the impacts out there, you lose one player, two players, and it can turn your year around in a hurry. So you do balance it, and you make sure that we still have a long way to go before we get to the regular season, and I think our starters know that, and we still have a lot of things to work on in camp. Being mindful that we're still in camp, and just looking forward to this next opportunity.
That is Doug Peterson last night, and really kind of punches home what we were talking about earlier. The Jags don't have a lot of depth. Like, their depth shouldn't really be as good as everybody else if you just look at the timetable of where they've been, wins and losses, construction of their team. It's got to get better now. But depth does matter on a football team. I don't think you need 53 that are unbelievable, but you certainly have to be able to stopgap injuries along the way or work around them. And last night was kind of evident it's uh-oh time potentially if the Jags lose a few players. And I'm not even sure they have to be their best players, but they might be a little leaky in spots if the injury bug hits the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brent Martineau live in Canton, Ohio, as we continue to celebrate Tony Boselli and Leroy Butler in the class of 2022. 12 o'clock tomorrow, enshrinement here at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz in the Action Sports Jack studios. All right, guys, let's get back to the game yesterday. And before the game, Aaron, you asked me a couple questions. Yeah. Let's see how all that played out. What did you ask me? I can't remember.
First, then you and my wife. First and foremost, I asked you about the kickers, right? What you needed to see from the kickers. I'm curious, did you see what you wanted to see?
Probably not what I wanted to see, because if Ryan Santoso makes the 60-yarder, I think we're buzzing.
Yeah, sure. It was close. It was about, a couple yards short?
No, it wasn't short. It was right.
Right,
like
not
he had
short.
plenty of leg.
Right. That's
plenty of leg. So it was like, wow, he has got a big leg. And we all have said this. Go look at his height and weight. He looks like a tight end out.
Yeah, he's a big dude.
He's a really
like
big
6'5",
guy.
250 or something like that.
Really big guy. So it's no surprise that he really has like a Sebastian Janikowski, like more slender feel to him.
Great kicker. Sebastian Janikowski.
This is unbelievable what's happening right here. We're giving this guy praise for missing.
And for being a big guy.
I knew you were going to say that. But I actually think, listen, we can sit here and say that. But who did you come away with? Who do you want to be your kicker right now, Fry or Santoso?
Right. He wants right.
Matthew Wright. Listen, Fry's not real, so we'll go with Santoso.
It's the weirdest take I've heard yet. And I've heard a lot of weird takes.
Matthew Wright.
Well, I know Matthew Wright, but you have two options.
Then the guy that almost made it from 60.
Santoso. Come on. But a Santoso stunner. Who doesn't want that?
Okay, so I saw a lot of reaction.
No wonder people are getting hurt, by the way. This dude's leg is massive. The kick is not accurate, but he's hitting people and it hurts because his leg is huge.
He wasn't the one who kicked anybody.
Dangerous.
I actually did think of this, and maybe this is just maybe this is the bad mentality. You might be right. People might be right, because I saw some of the reaction on Twitter. It's like, hey, Brent, the idea is to put it through the uprights. Well, don't we all know that 60 yards, like what's the make percentage on 60 yards?
It's super low, obviously.
0 if you play for the Jags.
Most teams.
Not really. Got a 59-yarder from Scobie. I mean, we're close. So we've had some big ones now. We've had some big kicks. But I can't imagine the percentage is that high. And so when you see a quality kick on a wet field at the logo, on a field that really doesn't house a lot of NFL games, and it goes like 70-something yards, like that made me feel okay about him, and he just missed getting it inside the upright. Like, so I actually think there was something to be gained for Santoso.
I thought so.
By missing.
Yeah. I thought, obviously, he didn't show you what you really wanted to see from a kicker to make you go, okay, that problem is solved. But I'm looking at the guy going, all right, he's got leg to him. If he can get it through the uprights on some of the short and mid stuff, I think you're okay.
Well, let's be real here. Now he has to go make kicks, right? He has to make the 46-yarder, the 32-yarder, the extra points. Oh, by the way, the touchback looked awfully nice. But Fry makes the 46-yarder. So who's ahead in the clubhouse?
Well,
Fry making the 46-yarder, or the idea that you've got like a booming leg on the sideline in Santoso? And quite frankly, I think people like the idea of that.
And prior to the miss, Santoso stunners, he was 8 of his last 8 in practice. So it's not like he can't make those. He just didn't have an opportunity last
This is going to play out throughout camp, okay? So it's not like it's over next week. I think we might even see another kicker come through here. And I'm not sure either one of these guys is the guy. I really am not. But it was like, okay, in that setting to hit what I would think a kicker would call a pretty clean kick. Just pushed it a little to the right. Remember, we've had Scobie on a lot. And what we see a lot of kickers do now is they will curve it in. They'll draw it in. And that's not intentional. That's a missed kick in a kicker world. The idea is to hit it straight. And he did kind of hit it straight, just pushed it a little bit to the right. So we'll see what happens. I thought it was an okay start if he now makes field goals after for Santoso. But I don't think anything was determined last night, Aaron, on the kicker front.
Fair enough. Moving over to the backfield. We thought we'd see, Snoop Connor last night. We thought maybe we'd see 2, possibly 3 people out of the backfield, and we saw a little bit more than that. You saw Sargent carry the ball 5 times. Connor was in there with 4 carries. Cottrell even showed up with 3 carries out of the backfield. What did the play last night from the running back group and the people rushing out of the backfield, what did that show you?
Nothing.
It's worth nothing, huh?
Really wasn't.
Next question.
By the way, though, as I typed this up, it's pretty cool that we have a Snoop, a Rock, and a Sergeant in the backfield.
The WWE of backfields.
Yeah. And the greatest thing about Mekhi Sargent is he is from Key West. I love that. Like, have you ever been to Key West and seen the high school, right? Have you been down there?
No, I haven't.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's like, they produce athletes. It's like wild. Like, isn't that weird to have come from Key West? Like, where do you even play? You have to drive like 12 hours to play a high school football game or something, or boat. I don't know. But that's the interesting nugget on Mekhi Sargent. And he got a lot of work in that second half. But sure. Come on, that was the second half, and I didn't even watch that much, I don't think. But I wanted Snoop Connor. I didn't mind what I saw, but I can't sit here and tell you I was like, whoa, I'm impressed.
I mean, 2.5 yard average on his count, his 4 carries is not necessarily setting anyone on fire.
And was that more the offensive line and the lack of push? Potentially, but you still would have liked to see him break off a run here, an 8-yard, or show a little something. Again, some tough yards, tough running. I'm not down on him. I don't know if I saw anything that's like, okay, cool. I can't wait to see more. I didn't do that with the running backs, and Raquel Armstead's in this category too. And I've seen Nate Cottrell do that late game stuff anyway. I just think he's probably a guy and a practice squad guy at best for them. So I didn't learn much about the depth of the running back field is what I'm getting at.
So that actually, I have a prediction that you may be repeating yourself, but same question now looking at the receiving crew.
Yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
No, we learned something.
What'd you learn, Case?
We got some guys to cut.
Well, yeah. You know, the funny thing is the Hall kid looked really fast. Didn't he? Did he on TV? Did he look fast?
No, he looked like he was fumbling on TV.
Well, he fumbled after the fact, but he looked like he had a really good speed and quickness to me. I was surprised we didn't see much out of Winningham, though I will say this. I'm not sure if that was more on the quarterback play, because quarterback play certainly wasn't anything to write home about. I mean, Luke Farrell got in the action, catching the passes.
Luke Farrell was okay.
Yeah, 3 for 43, 14.5
He was
average.
super open on that one play. That was like the best play design of the game.
Yeah, so I didn't learn much about the receivers guys either. And I will say this. Now, the moment for Willie Johnson that got called back, the punt return, and then he later made some more catches. Like, I think that night for Willie, like, he might have been the biggest stock-up guy of the night, other than Trayvon. Like, because I don't care. I know there's a holding, and that's maybe why some of it happened and it gets called back. But I still want to see that guy do what he did. He can't control the guy holding, you know?
Yep.
So, and then he later caught some passes and made a nice catch on a ball. I think that was a little bit behind him. I actually think Willie Johnson ain't making the roster. But I think for his NFL film, for his career, for his potential to hang around on a practice squad, get some more opportunities, I think that was a big night for a guy like Willie Johnson, a rookie out of Marshall. Again, I don't think he's going to be much of a factor here in Jacksonville, at least in the time being. But he could get himself on a practice squad if he has a couple more moments like that in the month of August. We're all looking at a guy like Winningham. Maybe it's a guy like Willie Johnson who can help out in special teams and other areas that makes his way into a practice squad spot. So nothing from really anything on the offense, I don't think, Aaron, including running backs and receivers for me.
Right, fair enough. And that's what you had predicted before the game. But, you know, if we're not seeing anything about the players, what about the plays? You see a lot of these guys lining up in the backfield and out wide and in the slot. Did that tell you anything about the kind of style Peterson is hoping to bring to the team this year?
I actually thought we'd see more of what Peterson kind of usually does. I felt like we saw more of the Raiders and Josh McDaniels, what he might do with the screen game and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't think I did. I thought I'd see a little more Doug in the offense. And maybe I missed it. Casey, did that jump out on the TV? But it didn't from the press box view for me.
Nah, not really. It didn't jump out. I'm not surprised we didn't see more of it, though, because, I mean, from that video that came out before the game and then the inactives, like, you knew you weren't getting much of anything on the offense, so I could understand why, hey, just vanilla, let's move on until we get some of our guys to see what they can actually do in those positions. I will say, not in terms of the Jags, but are you surprised that Josh Jacobs was, like, out there for a good bit?
A good bit, too.
Yeah, I was surprised, and I think a lot of folks, listen, I don't follow the Raiders very closely, but I think a lot of people were surprised to see that.
Yeah, they didn't pick up his, like, fifth-year option. They're like, all right, bro, you got to play in the Hall of Fame game.
Yeah, we're going to run you into the ground.
We're getting 20 games out of you this year.
To answer your extend your question a little bit on the defensive side, that we said this yesterday. We're not going to know what this defense looks like.
Right.
So we really didn't see much from this multiple look, different looks, and a lot of that goes into game planning too. So no surprise there from it. They're very vanilla, and I think that's where we're going to get the entire preseason. I think we'll get a little more of the offensive side against Cleveland and Pittsburgh, but I think will be very vanilla from a look standpoint on the Jacksonville Jaguars defensively. They might throw a blitz in there and a wrinkle just to see, but not much. I do think, was that all the questions?
We got one more. Obviously, we dissected Trayvon Walker's performance, but any other rookies stand out to you or first-year guys on the team that really stood out to you, did some work last night?
Well, I think Fortner had some moments. Like, I don't watch the center position much, but I saw a couple of plays where I was like, oh, that was really good. And then I saw a couple of plays where that wasn't so good. And he acknowledged that in the postgame. Casey, if we have Luke Fortner, let's get him ready before we go to a break, because he acknowledged I thought it was pretty interesting, and I don't know if we'll hear this part, but I'll tell you regardless, that he said they were trying to work some of my habits out of me from the college days here in camp and in the spring, and unfortunately I referred back to those at times. And so I thought it was a pretty astute, comment coming right off the field that he thought he did okay, but then on the plays that he didn't, he kind of went back to his bad habits, if you will. So I thought that was pretty good from a rookie to be able to already understand that. And he's probably told that on the sideline a bit too. But it shows you a little bit about the maturation process that needs to take place for a young man like that, who has been thrown into the starting center position and still, admittedly, has some work to do before we get to the start of the regular season on September 11th. We're able to catch up with Luke Fortner after the game last night. Well, how was it? You guys got a pretty good amount of action in that first half.
Yeah, it was great to get out there with the guys and finally be in a real game against other people and be able to be out there with my new Jaguars teammates.
Were you surprised at all you playing? Did you think that was the plan all along? And are you glad that you were able to get some early action?
Yeah, I was really glad. Definitely get that that first game jitters out and be able to finally do the thing. And you talk and all this build up about it. And to finally get out there was really great.
What did you get a lot of folks back home, and where did some of that stuff and saying, nationally televised audience, everybody could watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I was born in Cleveland here and lived in Toledo for a while, so close to home for me as well.
You're a young guy, but just ask Walker this too. An offensive tackle goes in the Hall of Fame, first Jag. Can you appreciate that, understand that, even though you're obviously a pretty young guy?
Yeah, absolutely. He called my name in the draft, so it's kind of a surreal moment to play in this game and watch him, be celebrated. It's really cool.
They put you out there with the ones right at the start of camp. How have you accepted the challenge, the role, and you feeling more comfortable as we now will embark on week 3?
Yeah, definitely. I think the older guys really kind of take me under their wing and help me out and made sure I didn't feel, too uncomfortable, just uncomfortable enough, but nothing too crazy. So they've helped me out a lot and definitely feeling better as we move forward.
They need to help him with that nose whistle. Oh, my God.
Just uncomfortable enough.
Definitely.
How about that? Which was pretty good by Luke Fortner. We'll see how he continues to grow in that position, and they're forcing him into it now. He's going to be able to handle it. But I do think we'll see some moments. If you go over the last week, Monday practice again, I said I wasn't there. We were at the high school media day. But there were some reports that it wasn't great at times for Luke Fortner, and that's on Tuesday morning when Doug Peterson said, hey, he's been unbelievable. Like, he really backed him up. It was like, this guy's been unbelievable so far. And we love him. He has been effusive with praise for Luke Fortner. And then you go to Thursday night's game, and again, I think you see some moments of brilliance and why they picked him and why they like him and what they're falling in love with. And then you see some rookie moments and some young guy moments adapting to the NFL. I don't know if that changes, is what I'm saying, in September and October. There might be some growing pains at that center position in the first half of the season, and then you hope he really gets acclimated in a hurry. And the same goes for a guy like Walker Little, who hasn't played a lot of football over the last few years. But Luke Fortner, Walker Little getting out there for an entire first half and costing me now $40 last night.
Nicely done.
All right, let's take a break. I do think we need a moment on Arden Key. Is that good to see? Do you have some faith in him, confidence in him? We also have football at 5. We'll hear from some more of the guys along the way out of last night's game and get you set for the weekend, enshrinement, and what the heck else is going on in the world of sports. We'll hit some of those topics coming up next on ESPN 690.
Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max.
When you look at a schedule, it reveals more than even the schedule what you really think about that team. Bad teams, their schedules always look brutal because they're no good, so you don't think they're going to win many games. Good teams, you look at the schedule, oh, it's not so bad because they're favored in a lot of those games. I guess I would also take the under on the Jets, but just. Like, I think 5.5 games is right. I'll take the under.
GJ and Max, followed by Greeny. Mornings on ESPN Radio and on the ESPN app.
Call me, Mark Anajar, at the law offices of Anajar & Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation and take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
Men, if you're struggling with erectile dysfunction or PE and frustrated taking pills that don't work, Prime Men's Medical Center offers breakthrough medical treatments that effectively treat your problem. 98% of patients experience immediate results during their first office visit. And for a limited time, your initial consultation and first treatment are completely free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Rubinsky. The physicians at Prime Men's Medical Center offer the most advanced treatments that eliminate ED and PE. Now men are lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, regardless of age or medical history.
Guys, to eliminate your frustration in the bedroom, call Prime Men's Medical Center now to take advantage of this exclusive limited-time offer. Your initial consultation and first treatment are totally free, and you'll see instant results right in the office. Call now, 904-664-8214. 904-664-8214. That's 904-664-8214.
The 6th Annual Allman Family Revival, celebrating Greg Allman's legacy. November 30th, Florida Theater, featuring The Devin Allman Project, Dwayne Betts, Donovan Frankenreiter, and more. On sale now at floridatheater.com.
A new era is here for Jaguars football. New championship-winning coach, new superstars, and new optimism. One consistent this fall is Tailgaters Parking will still be delivering the very best tailgating experience at the bank all season. Tailgaters Parking doesn't just talk a big game. They're right across the street from TIAA Bank Field. Offer clean, permanent restrooms, food options, a full liquor bar, and all parking spots are on a well-kept grass lot. Check out Tailgaters Parking at tailgatorsparking.com to reserve your spot today.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime. Yeah! And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock bottom rates and apply now at one-to-one-fcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
Beat the heat at Best Bet. From the state's top poker room to live-action simulcast wagering to amazing sushi and drinks, come experience nonstop excitement at Best Bet. With great daily high hands, lots of table shares, and tons of poker cash games and tournaments, the action is sizzling. Play the hottest card games, including Ultimate Texas Hold'em, 3-card poker, and Pai Gow. You must be 18 years or older to play. More at bestbetjacks.com. Best Bet. Experience the best.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and master 5th grade math.
I can't do this. It's impossible.
Not you, Dad, your daughter. Staples will help her move forward.
Right.
Right now, Staples one-subject notebooks are just 35 cents each. Plus, select backpacks are 50% off. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. In-store only backpack offer ends 8/6. Notebook offer ends 8/27. Limit 30.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done, with 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wrangler is made for those moments when your heart says go and you follow it beyond what's expected. Because when the heart calls, you gotta be ready in jeans that are made to move and built to last. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
At Wrangler, we know that life is all about taking the reins, no matter what's in front of you or which way the road turns. Because life is one big glorious ride, and Wrangler jeans are made to handle every step of it. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Hey, it's Brett Mortno from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Operationally, it's something that's hard in preseason because you got so many guys. But I think offense and defensive, the personnel was good. Special teams is where it gets very impactful with the amount of guys you're trying to get in the football game and try to sub for. So, other than that, I mean, really didn't have any significant penalties that way. Delay games or anything like that really cost us because of personnel.
It seems like a simple thing, but lining up, snapping the football, like the exchange that happened on 4th and 1, where the fumble was, to not get delay of game penalties and procedure penalties and things like that, that actually is important to coaches especially, because I think it shows they can at least do that. Listen, like, Brian, what are you talking about? There have been moments like the first play of last year where they couldn't get the snap off. The first play from scrimmage.
That's rough.
Against Houston. I mean, we should have known.
Yeah.
We should have known. Can't put too much on one play, I guess, but we should have. Brent Martineau, Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz. I'll talk some football stuff coming up, Football at 5, because that's what we do. We've got the enshrinement, more Boselli, more Butler, more class of 22, a little more on the Jags game, like Arden Key I want to get into. We have some more conversations with players like Arden Key. And Aaron Rodgers and the psychedelic stuff, get into that. Also, Matthew Stafford, the old baseball player, has a baseball injury.
Danger
perhaps.
in La La Land.
And that could be a big deal for a guy we know in Johnny Wolford, the backup quarterback of the Rams. So we talk about that, Football at 5. I was thinking about this Super Bowl party, the Hall of Fame parties. And I'm sure every one of them has them. I know the Jags have been very kind in assisting Tony Boselli and helping put together this party. And I know it's a big buck party. Let's just say that. What's like a big dollar party?
It depends on the context, right? Like if you told me a wedding, I would say anything above 60 grand is pretty expensive for a wedding. But like when you get to the 6 figures, you're talking about rich people's wedding, right?
Yeah. So is that what happens? Like if you're like really have a lot of money, are we talking potentially a 6-figure wedding?
I used to valet park when I lived up in the land of the Yankees.
Oh boy, here we go.
And
so did Brent Martineau.
Love valet park.
Were you a manager, bro? I was a manager for a little bit.
No, I wasn't. I didn't manage anything.
I told peasants like you what to do. But over at valet parking, I was always very curious about some of these parties. These were fairly lavish parties. A lot of these weddings that I used to valet park at were like $250,000, $300,000. And you go, well, where does that money go? And a lot of it goes into like the flowers and the set design of the whole thing. Like, where does the money go at the Hall of Fame party?
Well, first of all, it depends how many people. And I think like potentially there's a lot of people here. And I mean, if let's just say there's 250 people.
That's like a big wedding back home. Yeah.
That's a big wedding. So I could see, I don't know what the dollar value is on each person.
You got a plate for everybody and then multiple courses. Sure.
Yeah. So what's 250 times like 100?
That's 250. No, it's 25,000.
So that's 25,000. So are you putting like, maybe it's a bigger party than 250, or are you putting like maybe $500 a head on everybody?
Yeah, if
the
it's
place
fancy
you got to rent out, the kind of food that you're bringing in.
Wagyu steak or something.
I mean, listen, Shad Khan's going to this thing, okay?
Shad Khan doesn't get out of bed unless the party starts at $500,000.
We're not talking about like chicken fingers.
Shad's driving the Kismet to a party that's going to cost 30 grand. I don't think so.
So I don't know that though. Like we have some high roller people, quiet money they call it in Ponte Vedra.
Yeah.
Like if somebody has a big party in their backyard on the Intercoastal or on the ocean in Ponte Vedra, I mean, is it like $100,000 party?
Yeah, I'm sure they find a way to get that done.
I agree with you, but I don't think on this thing, I don't think like the setup, like the flowers and the balloons and all.
Yeah.
Like I don't think the cost is there. I think the cost is in the alcohol
and the food.
And the food.
Yeah.
And then whatever place you got to rent out. I honestly don't even know where it is, but you got to wherever you got to rent it out. So
athlete families with the food, you're feeding a ton of people there with big menus. Yeah.
So anyway, I just wondered. I don't even know. I remember going to the NFL owners meetings a few years back. It was in Miami, and we went to this owners meeting kind of Saturday night party where media was invited, and it was pretty lavish now. It was top shelf. This food they had out there, it was wow. It was memorable.
That's cool.
And I don't really care about that kind of stuff, but it was memorable. It was
why are you going to the parties and send me and Casey? We care about that stuff.
I know. That's the other thing is people really care about going to the parties.
Yeah.
I know some of the guys going, they're so jacked up that they're excited to go into the party. I'm like, really? We're just going to stay at the Airbnb and pound some bear.
Get to breathe some rarefied air next to all the celebs and A-listers. Come on.
Got plenty of beer to drink. Can't take it on the flight home.
Brent's hanging out with Natty Light. You should be hanging out with some stars.
We're not going no Natty Light
and
here.
Me and Aaron will be here.
You can drink it home.
Neither location.
We'll be back. Football at 5 on ESPN 690. We got a lot of Jags topics and other football topics to talk about. Stafford and Rodgers as well on the way. Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctors. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call Safe Touch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those 2 thieves broke Safe Touch cameras would have alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The Safe Touch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know. We really need the Safe Touch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. Safe Touch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the Safe Touch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is officially open. Whether you're looking to board your pet during a vacation or looking for a place for them to play during the day, look no further. Forever Vets Pet Resort has officially opened its doors. With roomy, climate-controlled indoor play areas for big and small dogs, shaded outdoor play areas with a splash zone, and private cat condos including access to a cat tree-filled oasis, your pet will feel right at home. Forever Vets Pet Resort will provide a comfortable place for your pets while you're away and ensure your four-legged friend is safe and happy during their stay. Take advantage of a free day of play to all new clients. And if you purchase one night of boarding, you'll receive half off your next night. Want to learn more? Give us a call or go to forevervets.com. You can also stop by for a free facility tour. We're open 7 days a week with extended hours for your convenience. Forever Vets Pet Resort at Durban is now open for reservations.
The next generation 2023 Integra has arrived during Acura's Summer of Performance. The legendary Acura Integra is back and better than ever. Supply is limited, so don't wait. Click or call to purchase yours today. FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com.
This should be 8 by 7.
When it comes to closets, Janina's home organization business runs tip-top tidy.
Is this schedule right? I'm gonna need help.
But she needs to reorganize and find a new assistant.
I know, it's your last week, but can you make sure the Hanson pantry's wrapped?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Angie's List is now Angie, your home for everything home. With Angie, you could cross your next project off your to-do list before this ad is over. Just tell us what you need, and we'll handle the rest, sending a top pro to get it done. Or browse reviews, compare quotes from pros, and connect instantly, all for free. For everything from routine maintenance to a dream remodel. Because however you want your project done, we'll get it done. Download the app or go to Angie.com. That's ANGI.com to get started.
What's up? It's Casey. Check out the podcast Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690, wherever you get your podcasts.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
Doug Brown, U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken says today the sentence given to Brittany Griner in a Russian courtroom compounds the injustice since her arrest almost 6 months ago. With the trial now over, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says Russia is now ready to talk privately about a prisoner swap that could include Griner. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow is still out indefinitely after an appendectomy. Tony Pike from ESPN 1530 in Cincinnati.
He got a full offseason and he's coming off the Super Bowl run. Right now, his health is all that matters. So there's no rush to get Joe Burrow back. I think everyone's pretty confident with what Joe Burrow is for this Bengals organization.
Tony Pike on Key J and Max. Head coach Zach Taylor says there's no timetable for Burrow to get back on the field. The University of Michigan officially cuts ties with hockey coach Mel Pearson. An outside investigation uncovered that Pearson pressured players to lie about COVID-19 contact tracing 2 seasons ago and fired a volunteer coach for raising concerns.
Do you own or rent your home? Sure you do. Fortunately, Geico makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. It's a good thing, too, because having a home is hard work. Go to geico.com, get a quote, and see how much you could save. Geico.com. Easy.
Live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks with Brent Martineau.
Well, it's always good for that secondary to get out there. Communication is probably the biggest thing. You know, they can talk and identify, formations and different route combinations and things like that. But it's always good to kind of get them kind of in a rhythm early, and really, more than anything, kind of focus on the communication aspect of what they need to do.
That's Doug Peterson continuing to talk about the game last night. Coming out of that game, Jags off today, and they will do a walkthrough tomorrow. Doug Peterson will actually come back up here for the enshrinement to be with Shad Khan, Trent Baalke, and represent the Jags tomorrow. And then Sunday, practice resumes at Episcopal as we get ready for a game week against the Cleveland Browns. 2 thoughts before we get into a lot of quarterback talk around the NFL, including Deshaun Watson. We were talking about how much a party would be. How good of a party? What's the least amount of money you can spend on a really good party?
Again, depends on the kind of party, but I'll go with a really...
How about like our anniversary party? Because
the least amount of money?
Yeah.
You guys have done that already.
We've kind of already done it. And we actually had fun. Like, it was a good party.
Yeah,
so I guess money doesn't make a party is what we're getting at.
No, if you got a good guest list, you're good. Oh, I'm just dropping everything.
Celsius.
Good guest list, you're good.
Well, I do think, like, you have to have food.
That sounds like a great idea. Next time, bring some food.
We did. We had food.
I didn't get fed. Would you have pizza or something there?
Yeah, we had, like, pizza. We had wings. This is a while ago now. We did it once. But we had, like, cake. I mean, we had, and more than that, by the way. I just forget. But we had food. So, and we had drinks. We actually, like, were serving samples of tequila.
I don't remember that at all.
Yeah. And
maybe I had too much of the tequila.
And we didn't even have, that was like all from an alcohol standpoint. We didn't have anything else because it wasn't at a bar. But
it's right here at work.
It was. And so I don't know. Like, I wonder what I guess maybe at the end of the day, you probably need the money to make it a memorable and like fancy dancy thing. But I don't really think you need this big spender party to have a good party.
I think just fueling people with alcohol is the easiest way to get there without effort.
That's probably true.
Right? Like,
that's why the best weddings you go to are open bar, right?
Right. You could have a mediocre party and then give people free booze and everyone's going to be laughing and having a good time.
That's fair enough. That's true. And yeah, I mean, usually, listen, the people, it's going to be a good party probably because of the people that are there.
Mm-hmm.
That's
what
at
is
the end.
That?
No, seriously, like you're good. I mean, do you want to be there and hang out with the people that you're there with or not?
I do.
You know? I think that's probably it.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I'd pull off a Hall of Fame party for like 10,000 instead of 100. Unless you got money to throw around. Well, this is the NFL, people.
Yeah.
They got money to throw around. One other note, did you see this? And stop me if you did. If there was a convention, say, coming to Cleveland, that might not fit right now.
Saw it.
Aaron Schachter?
I have not seen this. There's
What
virgin
would that
ears
be?
right now.
What do you think that might not fit right now in Cleveland?
The American Association of Masseuses convention.
Very good. You're all over this, man. You are all over this.
What is there like a group of masseuses? Is that what that is?
It's like a national convention for massage therapists coming up in Cleveland
man.
like this month or something.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, man. I bet you that convention's got a lot of arthritic hands in it. That's what these masseuses, they only have the small careers. They're like running backs. After a certain amount of time, they get all crackly in the hands, and then it's all downhill from there.
I mean, how crazy is that, given the Deshaun Watson
I mean,
situation?
completely. But, it's not as if someone's tone deaf, right? It wasn't the masseuse's fault that Deshaun Watson was doing that behavior.
Well, not only that, but conventions are booked like 12 to 18 months in advance. It
Before
just
he was even on the team, probably.
that Deshaun Watson got traded to Cleveland, and that's
man.
where it happened to be, and in time with training camp and everything else.
Well, I hope they have a team fixer hanging with Deshaun that day. You don't want to trust that guy by himself on that day.
Hopefully they'll be on the road. At latest, let's go around. We got quarterback stuff going on in the NFL here at Football 5. Brett Martin, Aaron Schachter, Casey Kurtz. Deshaun Watson, the latest, I guess they're, Roger Goodell's assigned someone to hear the appeal. The NFLPA's done its thing. I think this is going to move quickly, and the NFL has actually said it needs to move quickly.
Yeah, I think they want to just get it handled before the regular season. Very similar to what we saw with Tom Brady and Ezekiel Elliott when their court cases kind of rolled around.
Okay, what's the end result here? The NFL, the league wants indefinite or a year. The ruling was 6. So if it's not Goodell and he can't really decide exactly what it is going to be, if it's a third party to some degree here, which it is, I don't think they're getting a year. I don't think the NFL's getting exactly what they want. Where does this thing settle?
I had 2 thoughts on this. Number one, Goodell is the one who gets to choose the designee.
True.
So my first thought was he took
him golfing yesterday.
Yeah, he's got a guy, and he told the guy this is what he wants. But my second thought on it is if it's going to go like any other arbitration, then the NFL made sure to get out in front of it and say what they were looking for or leak what they were looking for, which was indefinite or a year with lots of fines. And then they come somewhere in the middle, something like 8 games, 9 games, 10 games with like a $500,000 or $1 million fine or something like that.
You know what else I think about, Casey, here? Can you go 12 games? I could see him, do you double it, get to 12 or 10 to 12? But then is there a point, what's the point where it's like, okay, let's just make it a year if we're going to make it 12?
12 is that point.
Is that the point? You can make it 12 or a year?
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing with 12 or even, say, 16 or 17, whatever, then, does that let you back in the postseason? So if you do just a year flat, then you can't play the postseason. The game number doesn't really matter.
Correct.
And you're just straight at a year. But I think it'd be weird to me if they did this whole process, the appeal process, and they go from 6 to 10.
I just don't think
really
they
win.
I don't think they want him out there in October. I think that's to the earlier point of the masseuse convention in Cleveland. How do you do that? How do you aim your programming at women? How do you put Deshaun Watson in pink socks for Breast Cancer Awareness Month? It just feels gross.
I mean, it feels gross no matter when he plays. So don't play him this year.
I will say this, okay? I think there is a significant difference between 6 and 10 games. So to this process, to get more than half a year suspension, I think is significant. I said even 8 games felt more significant to me. If you go more than half the year, I think that is a significant suspension. So, Casey, I would say it is worth it from the NFL standpoint, even if they don't get the year, to get 10. From a perspective, public perspective, from an optics standpoint, I think that 10 seems more penalizing than the 6.
Look at you. It is double digits.
I mean, I guess we're going to disagree on this one, but I don't know. I think it's a year bust for Roger Goodell in this situation. Their spokesperson said they're going for an indefinite suspension leading to a year, so we'll see. I don't think 10's enough.
Do we have as we transition into psychedelic talk, apparently, with Aaron Rodgers, are any of you an expert on this topic?
Well, I happen to have watched a limited series on Netflix, so I have a little informational background.
You told us about that. Now I'm intrigued. I got to go watch it.
Yeah, the Netflix series is called How to Change Your Mind. I think it's 4, 5, 6 episodes, something like that. But it really centers around the research that was going on in the 50s, 60s, and really shut down in the late 60s, early 70s into psychoactive drugs. The limited series focuses on things like mushrooms, on LSD, and things like mescaline, peyote, and I believe that's something around what Aaron Rodgers ended up taking, peyote or something close to it. I forget what the name was, but essentially they're saying the same thing Aaron Rodgers is saying, and that there's something that happens when you take these psychoactive drugs where it affects the part of your brain that deals with things like ego, where you create your anxiety, depression, OCD, addiction. I mean, there was tons of research back in the 60s where people with alcohol addiction and other addictions were cured. I mean, not just, set on the right path like maybe rehabilitation does for people. I mean, they're talking like next day cure, which is astonishing and amazing.
Well, and what he says is this use of, I can't even pronounce it, the plant.
Yeah, the plant's got a weird name.
Yeah, like ayahuasca.
Yeah, ayahuasca.
Ayahuasca.
Yes.
Okay. Helped him improve his mental health and have the best season of my career, quotes. He credits it for spiritual healing.
Yeah.
So, listen, this isn't to get into beliefs and all this stuff, but there's a part of this. One, I think, is the NFL going to have a problem with this? There are some people that believe they will.
I doubt that. I mean, where he took it, it's legal. It's not like he broke any laws.
Yeah. Okay, so beyond that is for a football fan who likes to watch and have a star and wear a jersey and play fantasy football, there's a part of Aaron Rodgers throughout his career, he was like the whiny guy sitting behind Brett Favre. Then he becomes this great player, like unbelievable talent. Oh, my gosh, talent. To now, like, really feels like, in my opinion, I would say the best quarterback in the league. I take him for a year. I said that the other day. But he goes from like Danica Patrick to supermodels to staying in Hawaii and growing out his hair and having all this other stuff go on to now he's cool playing golf in the match. But now he's taking on the vaccine issue and standing up against that. He's this guy on McAfee's show each week who isn't afraid to speak his mind. Like, he's really this interesting superstar in today's world to a point where is he becoming too bizarre to, like, really be a fan of?
Yeah, I don't think Aaron Rodgers was ever here for your fandom, right? Like, Packers fans are going to love Aaron Rodgers because he's Superman. But outside of that, you're right. He makes it kind of hard to be an obsessive fan of Aaron Rodgers. You called it a little whiny before in the beginning of his career because he didn't want to sit for 5 years or 10 years, however long Brett Favre was insisting that the guy sit for. But it's not like he ever really dropped that either. The vaccine issues he got into and the comments he made on McAfee's show kind of embodied that. Or when he was catching heat over the Danica Patrick relationship or even the Olivia Munn relationship. He just doesn't care what you think as fans.
And
I think we appreciate that, right, Casey? Go ahead. Sorry.
You have to respect him for that, but what do you mean we can't be a fan of him? Because we got guys that are doing way worse things that people are still fans of.
I'm not saying it's too bad to do. I'm saying he makes it hard when he's a negative guy or always complaining about things. It really does become hard to be a fan of somebody.
I actually think in today's world, I think of it differently. I'm not even talking about the negative. I think he doesn't follow one way of thinking. Like, he's not down a party line or a liberal conservative line or whatever line. Like, he'll say things that may appeal to so many different people but then he'll also piss those same people off with some of his ways of thinking. You know what I mean? Well, and that's the way, like, we operate sometimes. He reminds me a little bit, very low key, but reminds me of almost like a phenomenon like Dennis Rodman.
Yeah, a little bit.
Where
Rodman
Rodman was so far out there, like it didn't
he was
seem real.
unorthodox. He wasn't going to conform to anybody's rule about anything.
And there's something likable about that, and you appreciate that. And it's like, wow, man, I mean, at least he's willing to do whatever he wants to do, and he doesn't give a damn what you think. Like, I think that's kind of a cool trait to have sometimes.
Sure.
But it was so bizarre and out there at times you're like, I can't get in line with that.
See, for me,
You know what
with
I mean?
Rodman, it was comedy. It was laughable. He wore the smile on his face sometimes. He had the weird wackadoo hair going. He had the weird flailing elbows every time he jumped up for a rebound. With Rodgers, it feels so much more combative than that.
I think
Well,
it's
not only that,
easier
he's
to
a
be a fan
calculator.
of Rodgers right now than ever before.
Say that again?
I think it's easier to be a fan of Rodgers right now than ever before. Because
Is
for a
it?
while you knew nothing about him, and then he started doing these things, and now it's like, oh, I can relate to him. Like, it's
Yeah.
easier to get with somebody like him right now than somebody you know nothing about, like Brady with the Patriots.
Yeah. I hear what you say there. I think there's something about it. And by the way, there's a thought I have that doesn't matter. Like, you like him from like, I like Tiger Woods because I like watching him play golf. Nothing else about Tiger Woods' life. And not say, I mean, he might be a great dad, but I don't care how good of a dad he is or all that stuff. Like, that's not why I'm a Tiger fan, because he's a great dad. The stuff about off the field, like off the golf course stuff, well, obviously I'm not signing up for that. But, I mean, I separate human being and athlete until sometimes you see both sides. And especially like here in Jacksonville, you can get to see both sides of players because you're up close and you're covering them every day. And so you get this different appreciation, maybe for a guy like Calais Campbell, right? We know he's a super dude. And on top of that, he's a heck of a player. But, like, I choose to think of my athletes when, like, I like Larry Bird. I like Dan Marino. I had heard stories about Larry Bird and Dan Marino that I'm maybe that would have turned me off from liking them. But I'm looking at him as an athlete. So, and I don't know if most people do that or not, or if they try to merge the two together, and you almost have to like the person as well as the athlete.
I think when it's your favorite athlete, you kind of have to enjoy who that person is. I think when that athlete is on your team and you just want to support the team, I think it's a lot easier to love Larry Bird when you're not seeing him be a real jerk to literally everybody.
Yeah, I don't know if Bird fit that as well as, like, Marino. There were some stories, and then I met Marino, and he was great every time I met him. So, like, I'm not sure how true those were, you know? But so it's just a fascinating thing, I believe. I'll say one more thing about Rodgers. Does some of it, Casey, because you're an interesting take on this, does some of it feel a little bit manufactured? Like, he knows the game he's playing.
Like, here's the thing. Like, I give him enough credit to the point where he does know the game, obviously, and it could be. But I honestly just think he got to the point, like you said, where he's like, I don't care. Like, you know what? I'm a little bit out there. And if that means the people that drop acid are going to support me now, I'm all for it.
And quite frankly, you're just about done with your career. Like, who are you showing airs for?
Yeah, and I think it, to the point now, to that point where it's like, does he know what he's doing? That's where maybe going on McAfee helps him, because he now knows the game where, like, Brady's getting the $500 million deal or whatever it was. Breeze is good on TV. He knows that's probably his next way. You go on a spot like McAfee, grow that fan base that you might not, like me, for example. I didn't care about Aaron Rodgers other than, like, playing football. I hear about McAfee. I'm like, some of this stuff is out there, but it's kind of entertaining. So he grows at least an audience from other people along with me. And now when he retires, it's like, hey, Aaron Rodgers is on so-and-so and he's talking about stuff. I might listen because now I'm interested from what I heard towards the end of his career when he figured it out.
Great point.
Yeah, I think he's fascinating, and that is a good take. I would say this. You take the Rodgers and you take the Brady, and I think what they've realized, and other players too, I'm giving those two recent examples because they have morphed a little bit. There's been a transformation. They're more outward than they were before. They're not as protected as they were in the early part of their careers and won't want to say anything in front of a microphone. Now they're willing to do, say, tweet, share anything about themselves. And I really think they've caught on to the phenomenon that is now the athlete.
Yeah.
It's about the brand.
The brand, yeah.
And they've picked up on that. And they were able to cash in at the end of it and get more likes and tweets and social media and endorsements and all this other stuff. I think the difference is Brady does it in, I would say, a more traditional way, and Aaron Rodgers seems to do it in a sometimes what would be viewed as a out there kind of way.
But Aaron Rodgers is earning those fans. Tom Brady, without the championships, is he really that popular? Like, there's nothing about Tom that stands out to me outside of the
fair.
2 hands full of rings.
Not when he was in New England, no.
Yeah,
now
but
you could. But
by the
not
way,
then.
I don't think if either guy's not that great of a quarterback, we ain't talking about him anyway.
Aaron Rodgers is a smart cat, man. I think that man would have been a special entity no matter what he did.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I agree
enjoy
with
me
that.
some Aaron Rodgers.
Listen, there's a lot of special entities that we don't talk about.
That's fair.
What about in this? Is this like a similar scenario, Brent? You just said if he wasn't good, we'd be talking about him. Like Orlowski wasn't that good, and he's made himself into somebody that obviously the ESPN part of it helps, but he wasn't great.
Yeah,
Chris Sims,
I do think, and I like me, Keys to the City.
That's why I brought him
Orlovsky.
up, Brent. That's why I brought him up.
But I will say this: do I know enough? Like, I feel like I know more about the personality and the things that Aaron Rodgers does than I do about Orlovsky. I think Orlovsky, in a way, and again, no disrespect to him, is part of the machine that ESPN's able to make you into. I mean, you didn't have to play quarterback in the league to be very popular on ESPN because you're all over the place. And I think, and because he's good enough to do that and be all over the place. So, I mean, I don't know if that kind of crosses over a little bit, but I get what you're saying. Hey, one last thought, since we're going over all the quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford, I think the story here for us locally is Johnny Wolford's a backup quarterback. He's hung on there with Sean McVay and the Rams, won a Super Bowl ring last year. We got to see him when we went out there. And he's going to get, all the reps in this preseason. And do we, or should the Rams feel concerned about this so-called injury or arm injury to Matthew Stafford, which looks pretty unique from a quarterback perspective?
Yeah, we're hearing a little bit more about it. Apparently, he's been dealing with it for a while, last season as well. They thought they had it managed in the offseason with some treatments. Apparently, that's not the case, and now they're pulling back on his reps. I mean, if you watch Matthew Stafford over the last decade, he's going to play if he's breathing. But the Rams, man, they're built on that pass game. What do you do without Stafford in there? That window closes a whole lot quicker without Matthew Stafford under center.
Jimmy G.
I mean, in conference, that's a hefty price tag.
Jimmy G.
Nah. I mean, I think I tell you, man, I think they really like Wolford. And I think McVay likes him.
I'm looking at Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson and possibly an OBJ and Higbee over there. And that team is just predicated on throwing that ball fast, accurate, and downfield.
But don't they have to make a move? Let's just say, Stafford gives it a go and then he goes out. And they find out Stafford's not going to play. But the way they've built this team and all the stars in the timetable, and maybe it doesn't add as much pressure because they won last year, but are they, if they're not as comfortable with Wolford, as even though I'd like to see it, do they have to make a move for a quarterback because they've got all the pieces in place?
I mean, it feels that
Obviously.
way. Yeah, that feels that. A lot of these guys, you look at an Aaron Donald and some of these other guys on deals expiring this year. I mean, you're not bringing back the same team next year. They were fortunate enough after winning it. That was part of the pitch to a lot of these guys, like an Aaron Donald. Hey, let's run it back. I don't know that you do that again when you're bounced in the first round this year, if that.
Jimmy G. Every team you want Jimmy G to go to plays in the division.
Yeah,
It just works out that way that they happen to need quarterbacks. Listen, I know it's unlikely for sure.
It's
but
beyond. I mean, the Niners think they got a shot.
Yeah, but the Niners don't want Jimmy G. If the Rams give him first-round picks, he's gone. Bye-bye.
Do they even have first-round picks
we're
left?
18 years down the road.
They just raided the cupboard.
I mean, there's always a price. Because the 49ers are done with Jimmy G. If they're the highest suitor, why would you not?
If they're smart, they wait on the Bucs to come calling when Tom's knee gets blown out week 3 because he has no offensive line.
Gosh.
That's what they do.
But who else are you going to get if you're the Rams?
No, you're right. There's nobody.
Sam Darnold?
It was Baker Mayfield.
Right.
There's nobody.
Gardner Minshew.
Yeah. Hey, Gardner might not be a bad option over there.
What's interesting is the Gardner Minshew has similar what you would look. I mean, he's got more experience, but similar issue potentially as a guy like Johnny Wolford is its height. That's why Wolford didn't play in the SEC or wasn't like this huge recruit coming out of high school. That's why he's probably not an NFL starter, quite frankly, because I think he's got all the goods, but his height is restrictive, and he doesn't move well enough to make up for it.
Well, not
like a Kyler Murray or somebody.
I'm not claiming to know McVay's playbook page by page, but this style of offense is quick slants over the middle, setting up the long pass down the field. It's not like I mean, they have Stafford. He can go downfield, but it's not like it's necessary to run that offense well. You just need to be able to time it out with Cooper Kupp and Allen Robinson over the middle there.
Blake Bortles reunited with Allen Robinson.
And that might work.
He was in their camp before, so we'll see. Interesting. Follow along the Stafford, the Watson stories. I mean, the Aaron Rodgers story is interesting in itself, but a lot going on in the QB world in the NFL. Nice and quiet here around for Trevor Lawrence. He's just playing good ball and getting ready for his second season. Joe Burrow, by the way, is another guy that's getting back from the appendectomy, but I can't imagine that's a big issue once they get to the regular season, just missing some time right now. All right, we take a break. We talk a little Arden Key and have a conversation with the veteran defensive end who showed out pretty well last night here in Canton, Ohio. Our coverage from Pro Football Hall of Fame Week continues right after this on a Friday.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Tonight, partly cloudy with a coastal shower, lows in the middle 70s. Starting off your Saturday with a brief shower at the coast. Partly sunny skies through much of the day with showers and storms shifting inland by the afternoon hours. Highs in the low 90s inland, 80s at the beaches. I'm meteorologist Alyssa Pedjick, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, zero-interest financing with nothing down.
Hi, this is Keith Gurr, president of American Window Products. We are Jacksonville's oldest replacement window company. We have been providing excellent service for over 38 years and still have an A+ rating. At American Window Products, we have helped over 36,000 homeowners, and we don't use subcontractors. Right now, we're offering a free installation on 6 or more windows, as well as a free energy package. Go to AmericanWindowProducts.com and click for an estimate. That's AmericanWindowProducts.com. American Window Products, we are the window professionals.
If you or someone you know is a post-9/11 veteran looking for direction and purpose in life after military service, Camp Southern Ground is here for you. Warrior Week, our signature veteran-led transition program, will give you the tools and training you need to thrive in work, relationships, life, and family, all at no cost to you. Together, with a community of peers and mentors, we strive to make every day better than the last. Take control and get started today at campsouthernground.org.
Best Bet St. Augustine is hiring with competitive pay. Work at St. Augustine's newest attraction that'll be opening soon. Best Bet St. Augustine is hiring line cooks, servers, chip runners, mutual tellers, landscape workers, porters, maintenance workers, and vault helpers. No experience is required. You must be 18 years or older to apply. Apply online at bestbetjax.com or interview in person at Best Bet St. Augustine, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturday from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. Best Bet St. Augustine, 800 Marketplace Drive, right off exit 311 on I-95.
You hear me talk about being active all the time. I like to play golf. We like to exercise, get ourselves in good shape. But if you're hurting, that's a tough thing to do. So one of the best things that's happened here over the past year in Northeast Florida is the arrival of QC Kinetics. Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau. QC Kinetics is giving relief every day to folks here with chronic joint pain using the latest advances in regenerative medicine. They harness the power of your own body's healing properties, like in your blood or plasma, concentrate them and apply to your affected joint. The results can be mind-blowing. These regenerative treatments are designed to repair and restore your damaged joint tissue so you can move again without the pain. You can play golf, you can run, you can walk up the stairs without hurting. All you have to do is get a free consultation by calling this number, 904-274-5522, 904-274-5522 in Mandarin and Ponte Vedra now. Discover the exciting all-natural, advanced natural options that we now have access to thanks to QC Kinetics. Free consultation by calling this number, 904-274-5522.
Nobody protects you from mayhem like Allstate. You hear that? I'm a torrential downpour. Torrential? What's that even mean? It means you can't see out of your windshield. And if you have the wrong car insurance, you might have to make it rain to fix your bumper. So switch to Allstate, save money, and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Based on coverage and limits selected, subject to terms, conditions, and availability. In most states, prices vary based on how you buy. Allstate Bar and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The biannual blowout is just a week away, and we've got a lot of work to do.
Keenan's Rug Emporium is rolling out a Labor Day bonanza. He needs 10 new sales associates as the crowds loom large.
Someone run a stock check on all the Moroccan 8x10s?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed, you do. We instantly connect you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Tide presents Laundry Truths, Cold Hard Savings.
Oh, hey, about to start a load. On hot? You know, washing in cold water with Tide can save you up to $150 a year on your energy bill. $150? Go on. The lower the temp, the lower your bills. Simple. Plus, Tide Pods are designed for a powerful clean, even in cold. Wow, cool tip. Get it? Oh, yeah, I get it.
Turn to cold and save with Tide. Energy savings based on average from switching from hot to cold and non-HE machines.
COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too. If you feel symptoms, even if they're mild, you should test fast. Test positive and at high risk for severe COVID-19? Then act fast with authorized oral treatments that can be taken at home and must be taken within 5 days from when symptoms begin. COVID-19 moves fast, and now you can too by asking your healthcare provider if an oral treatment is right for you. Learn about a treatment option at treatcv19.com. This message is sponsored by Pfizer.
Do you know what it takes to be a successful business owner? If so, share your advice with someone who is eager to learn from your experience. As the nation's premier organization supporting small businesses, SCORE is always looking for people willing to offer their time and expertise to mentor current or aspiring entrepreneurs. We need volunteers from all areas of business, including accounting, finance, human resources, sales and marketing, as well as legal. If you're interested in joining our team, click on the volunteer tab at jacksonville.score.org.
ESPN 690 is home for the Florida Sportsman Fishing Show hosted by Captain Rick Riles. Tune in every Saturday morning from 7 to 9 a.m. to find out what's biting now. Fishing so fresh, you can almost smell it.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690. And you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
Yeah, I think there's some his ability to run the football. One of the things we got to get him, I think, better at is just his vision, just seeing the hole and sticking with the hole, being patient with it. But other than that, I thought he ran hard, he ran tough. Even the kickoff returns. I mean, just a guy that's, again, young player that is going to learn, he's going to grow from this, and I think you're going to start seeing, small steps and small, spurts with him.
That is Doug Peterson talking about Snoop Connor. And like I said earlier, Snoop, Rock, Sargent. I'm not sure we learned a whole lot about that group. Sargent got the carries and the receptions and had some nice numbers, but he's probably on the outside looking in. And eventually one of those guys will have to emerge, and did talk to Snoop Connor yesterday. And you can tell he's a confident guy in his abilities. And one of those guys that says, hey, came over from the SEC. They call it the NFL Junior League. And I feel like I'm settling in pretty well. So the college days maybe helped him get ready, and at least in his mind. But what will we see from him, I think, will be interesting to watch as his career continues. And maybe sooner the better, because I think they will need that depth in the backfield. Have that 3-back rotation. Brett Martineau in Canton, Ohio. We're in the basement. We're in the dungeon. We're at the Airbnb. We got pool. We got foosball. We got some TVs. Stuart Weber's upstairs doing some work, doing all the work, doing a great job, getting us ready for some TV specials tonight. Don't forget to watch CBS 47, Fox 30 all weekend long, including tonight, 7 o'clock. Have a special edition Jaguars All Access. And then 7:30, a Time for Tony special with our entire team. We will celebrate Tony and Leroy Butler as part of those specials coming up 7 o'clock. CBS 47 and Fox 30, 7 until 8. If you can't see it, tape it. How about that? Get the DVR roll. You're going to watch? Casey, you'll be driving home.
He always watches.
No, I'm going to watch. I don't have a DVR.
You're a good TV watcher. I appreciate you.
How in 2022 do you not have a DVR?
I don't have cable.
I don't have cable. I got something to record on. Little hard drive.
Yeah, I don't. Okay, so you don't have a DVR either.
Is that how you have to do it?
That sounds highly illegal.
Well, you could no. You do like a media server. It's totally fine.
I have no idea what you're saying. But, Brett, I'll watch it live. And if I don't, I'll lie to you and say I did.
There is an encore tomorrow at 6:30.
That might be better for me.
But the problem with that, I mean, the one issue with that is that it will be a little dated because we're doing the show tonight. Just to give you a heads up. We're not doing it again. And it will be after the induction, but we get another run out of that special tomorrow night.
You should. Put the work in.
Yeah. A lot of guys put work into it. And then we have half-hour shows Saturday and Sunday. So we'll have the induction, break it down. We've got a full team here and back in Jacksonville doing good stuff, just like Casey Kurtz and Aaron Schachter doing great stuff back in Jacksonville, holding down the fort.
We are a
Maybe
whole team.
next time we'll invite them.
You better.
Maybe.
You can't
build
deny.
up your wallet of bets.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm doing fine. If you guys actually pay up, I'm still waiting for my money from both of you. Brent, you have my Venmo.
Let me send this right now because
So
I
it
keep
coulda came
forgetting.
through. Let's talk in the break about how I'm going to get my funds. Brent, but there's no doubt it would have been a better time if me and Aaron were up there. But, nonetheless, we're here and we're thriving, we're surviving, and we are doing our thing.
I don't know if it would have been better for Brent, but it would have been better for us. We would have had a fun time.
I would have got some free food and drink out of it.
I know I would have been very disruptive to the team of professionals trying to do work. I would have.
There is an element of that, by the way. Like, you get in the flow, and it's like you don't want to be interrupted.
We don't have to hold hands, Brent, but we could have at least, been in the same place.
Now, I would have been there trying to make content out of disrupting all of you. That
I would have been playing pool and or foosball in the basement that you're in.
You would have, and drinking the beer in the fridge.
There you go. What's your best game, Brent, by the way, of the pool and the foosball? Whose money you taking in which game?
Nah, probably not either.
That's
not either.
depressing.
Nah, I need ping pong.
Okay, ping pong's the game.
Let me say, and I'm not trying to be boisterous or blustery or anything, but I will house the both of you at ping pong or pool.
You would beat me at ping pong.
Book it.
No.
Listen, 1997, they tried to recruit me to the South Korean ping pong team. I said, I got to graduate high school and go off to community college. I don't got time for you.
The South Korean ping pong
They
team.
were serious.
Table tennis, as you know it.
Yes. It was serious.
This sounds like one heck of a challenge.
I don't know, where were we the other day? We've been at so many places this summer. Where's the last place I was? Maybe Atlanta? It might have been Atlanta. And I saw a store like inside this just like the shopping plaza. And it was like a table tennis place. Like you have a billiards
store.
place?
Like a place to play.
Yeah, like they had a bunch of table tennis.
That many
I've never
people
heard of that.
love ping pong in Atlanta? Jeez.
I guess. I think it was
better.
Atlanta. I don't know. We've been so many dang places I can't remember, but I think it was Atlanta. So that was pretty wild. But yeah, man, I'll bring it on. We'll have to set this up in ping pong. But I will listen. I'm just admitting, I'm not a great pool player. I don't play a lot of pool. I used to when I was a kid more, but my buddy had a pool table. But I'm not that great at it, I would say. But
I'm
I
not
can,
good at
I
any
can
of
play.
those.
Foosball. It's funny. We've had a foosball table in our house for like 10 years. And got the kids. They never use it. We never use it.
Sell it.
And we went to and stayed in that Airbnb. It must be an Airbnb thing because we stayed in Atlanta and we used the foosball table. Never used the one at home. We used the one like nonstop in Atlanta. And here we go. We got another one. So.
Yeah, I'm not taking on any challenges in either ping pong nor foosball. I can't.
How about darts? Are you a darts player?
I'll try. I'm not playing Weber, right? He's good.
Weber's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm not very good, but I'll try.
Weber watches darts. I'm not sure how good he is.
That's true. He's a darts watcher. Here's the thing about darts. I don't know the rules, and I don't want to learn, but I know that sometimes it's better to not make it in the big area if you make it in the small area that's nowhere close to the middle.
Yeah, I think I can beat you in darts. I know it's good if I make it in the not-so-big area and in the small area. Yeah, I think I can beat you. But we can come play darts, by the way, in the sports office down in TV. We have a dartboard set up.
I'll tell you what you don't want, and that's cornhole.
Yeah, you said you're good at cornhole.
Yeah, you absolutely do not want the smoke.
That's another one. I haven't played it a lot. I mean, I'm an athlete, so I can play a little cornhole naturally.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not sure, I'm not going on the Johnson Bratwurst ESPN edition.
Yeah,
it is.
I could be in the tryouts. I'd probably come in third in the tryouts, but against you two schmucks, I got you all day and night.
I still think we should put together a cornhole tourney of sorts.
Yes, I think we should as well.
That would be fun.
Like the Big Three version of cornhole?
Yes.
You know what's greatest about cornhole? Now you don't have to play kickball and stuff. You can just play cornhole.
It's a real
You don't
fat
have
guy
to play
sport.
Media League softball. You can play cornhole.
Yeah.
You know?
That's us. That's us.
better.
I'm telling you.
It's a better games, I think.
It is a better game.
Hey, Arden Key last night. You excited about Arden Key?
Significantly more than I was when you were trying to push it on me. You guys have been trying to push that one on me for a bit. And I was like, I don't know. But last night I was like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, Martineau has the slightest idea about what's going on with this team. But yeah, I was impressed. I wasn't expecting that. He was disruptive. Not to mention Kayvon Chason helped him out a lot.
Yeah, he did.
Chason pushed their quarterback into him a couple of times. So overall, between the two of them, I was impressed. But Arden Key, yeah, he jumped off the page a little bit when I didn't expect it.
Hey, you were selling high on Arden Key, at least for the whole week, if not much longer than that. So I don't know that I was shocked from it. I was happy to see Kayvon Chason back there, too.
Yeah, that was good because he was a part of both of those. And I think Arden Key is interesting. And I guess you're going to have to hear my interview with him. Casey, if you can get that ready to roll. It's quick. But he says something in here that's fascinating about how he learned the game a lot last year. He's been in the league for a few years. But something clicked, and his production really clicked. And does that mean he's about to take off? He's still a very young man and has a lot of football ahead of him. And you're hoping the same thing happens for Chason. Here's what Arden Key had to say after the game yesterday.
How do you guys process and balance what you're working on? It's a long way to get to the regular season, but you got to clean some things up, too.
Yeah, we definitely got to clean some things up. We got a lot of work to do. But it was the first preseason game, and we finally put on tape what we look like and what we see. So we just got to watch the tape, fix the different techniques, and get better each and every day.
Trayvon got off to a nice start. And
yeah.
I know you've been watching and you're tutoring a lot of these young guys along the way. Is that nice for a guy that is heralded as him to come in and make a splash play or two early?
Oh, definitely. Trayvon, good player. He's a freak. And once he learned the game, like I said in my last interview, once he learned the game and know how to play, he gonna be hard to deal with. And like you said, you saw a little bit of that tonight.
Last one for you. I've noticed you really coaching up guys, cheerleading guys. You're not an old guy by any means, but have you accepted that role with some of these younger players?
Oh yeah, definitely. I just teach them what I was taught last year at San Fran. I learned so much football there. It's my duty to pass it down. If anybody need it, pass it down. But we all help each other. We all learn from each other. I take some info from Josh. A lot of people. So, we kind of balance each other in that aspect of the knowledge part.
I lied to you. You did have a lot of production last year. You said you learned a lot about football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you feel that's carrying over? And will, you got 2 sacks tonight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. It's all about formation, watching film, learning the different tendencies of different offensive linemen, and then take advantage of it.
Well, that is Arden Key. And he was pretty good with 2 sacks. I said this on Twitter. If it was a Pro Bowl, he would have been the MVP because nobody cares who wins in a Pro Bowl. The stat line would have been really good. So I wonder if something's clicked. I really do. And he's an energy guy, fun guy out there on the field, on the practice field. This is where I've seen it. And that's why I've been talking about him so much. Again, I say you got to get lucky. Trent Baalke, if he picks up Arden Key on that secondary free agent signing wave, and this guy performs for him and delivers, that could help things too now. And stuff that you don't count on. Not counting much on Arden Key to play a huge role. Not counting much on Chason because we haven't seen it yet. If those guys can deliver, well, now you start saying, okay, we thought they'd be here and now they're up a notch or two. That's only going to help your football team be a lot better than maybe you think.
Sure.
And the Jags need a lot of those guys to do that. We will take a break. When we come back, how about a give me one thing for the weekend? Think about it during the break, guys.
I know my answer.
All right. We will talk about that and put a bow on the show. And Action Sports Jacks OT is coming up at 6 o'clock. Casey Kurtz, Brian Middleton, Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp. And, of course, we've got a lot of TV, as we've been mentioning, on CBS 47, Fox 30, all evening and weekend long here live from Canton, Ohio. Support on the Dream 18 cards. We sold out of Dream 18 cards, and we're raising more funds for local charities through the Dream 18. And coming up next, it's a Dream 18 golf tournament, September 19th at the Golf Club at Southampton. Registration is now open. We'd love you to be a part of it. Buy a foursome, or maybe just play on an individual basis. Maybe it's a tee sign. Get your company involved. Here's how you register. Action Sports Jacks, Dream18.com. September 19th at the Golf Club of Southampton. Play on our Dream 18, Action Sports Jacks, Dream18.com.
If you've been thinking about a new Toyota, then stop thinking and start buying during the national sales event Now at Arlington Toyota. And check this out. Arlington's got 500 new Toyotas available, and that makes now the perfect time to slip into a new ride. Plus, you get 30 days to love your new purchase or exchange it, and a lifetime warranty with your new Toyota purchase. So stop thinking and start buying. Even better, start your engine. It's the national sales event at Arlington Toyota. Shop in person, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, and online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Walk into 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center, and it doesn't feel like you're going to the doctor's. Beautiful artwork of Jacksonville on the south side location, a laid-back atmosphere, and Rep Butler and his staff are really fun to talk to, and they are there to help you out. First-time appointments and adjustments, just $39 and maybe less pending your insurance. 904 Chiropractic and Injury Center. 3 locations, south side, St. Augustine, and the west side. Look them up at 904chiro.com. 3 locations, 904chiro.com.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Honey, I'm home.
Don't honey me. I'm still mad at you.
I know, and I'm sorry. It's all my fault.
You and those cheap do-it-yourself cameras. I told you, call Safe Touch, but no, you tried to save a buck. So when those 2 thieves broke Safe Touch cameras would have alerted the thieves that they were being recorded, and you and I would have been notified with actual video on our smartphones. The Safe Touch two-way communicator would have already had the emergency authorities on the way.
I know, we really need the Safe Touch 5-star security and surveillance system. I'll call today.
I already did. Safe Touch is installing our new 5-star surveillance system in the morning.
Every family needs the Safe Touch security and surveillance system. Call now and get a free demonstration. 888-723-8682 or online at safetouch.com. Dramatization of actual event. EF 0000233. Terms and conditions apply.
The Tech Coast Conference brought to you by KPMG is back October 3rd and 4th. Jacksonville is a dynamic hub for technology and development. The Jacksonville Chamber IT Council is excited to again showcase Northeast Florida as a tech leader of innovation and creativity. Be a part of the Tech Coast Conference to highlight your company as a tech innovator. To participate or sponsor, log on to techcoastconference.com for event details. That's techcoastconference.com.
The 6th Annual Almond Family Revival, celebrating Greg Allman's legacy. November 30th. Featuring the Devin Allman Project, Dwayne Betts, Donovan Frankenreiter, and more. On sale now at floridatheater.com.
For survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties, Hubbard House provides free, confidential emergency shelter and services. Call our 24-hour hotline at 904-354-3114.
Staples has everything for school at great prices. So this year you won't go back to school. You'll be ready to move forward and build that papier-mâché volcano.
I am not cleaning this up.
Ooh, yeah, I meant the kids. Staples will help them move forward. Right now, Crayola 24-count crayons and 4-ounce Elmer's glue are just 50 cents each, and 1-inch binders are only $1.99. Everything on your list at amazing prices. Staples, we're not going back. We're going forward to school. Ends 8/27 in store, only limit 30.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are. Chickle.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
Need an appliance? Shop the new appliance truckload event at Lowe's, going on now. From refrigerators and ranges to dishwashers and laundry pairs, we have a large selection of appliances from the brands you trust. Plus, get store-wide savings by shopping other in-stock categories. Go to your local Lowe's store or visit Lowes.com to shop the appliance truckload event and find what you need now. While supplies last, valid through 8/17.
Hey, everybody, it's Brent Martineau from Action Sports Jacks. There's a good chance you have a smart speaker, so use it with ESPN 690. Stay up to date on the Jags and all things sports by telling Alexa or Google to play ESPN 690. It's as easy as that. Make sure you listen weekdays 3 until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690. Been hanging out in Canton, Ohio all week. It's been a fun week. It's not done yet. We have a lot more to get to tonight on the TV side and tomorrow and Sunday as well. So hang with us, and then we'll be back in the saddle next week on Monday from the studio. Can't wait to see you guys. And we've got a game week in Jacksonville. I know.
I feel the same, Brent. I'm tired of looking at the Red Menace's face.
I'm not going anywhere either.
That Casey meter has been bringing me down.
I've had a good week. Come on.
Good by Casey standards.
I've had a good week. What are you talking about?
It's like saying the stock market had a good week.
I
All
haven't
right,
been mad
maybe,
about
but
anything. I've been chilling all week.
Relative to other stuff.
Come on. This is a W.
That Friday night visit to the couch has Casey saying, I'm proud of myself. I had a good week.
He thinks he earned it.
He
really does. He thinks he earned the week.
I think you have, by the way. I think you've been fantastic.
I mean, I wouldn't go that far.
Might have something to do with winning a couple of bets in the last 7 days.
Nobody's paid. Once again, both of my Venmos are in your Venmo already. It could have been done in the commercial break.
You're misrepresenting right now because we just agreed on it. We just talked about it.
We did, but it's been like 3 or 4 minutes. Venmo's like instant. You know what I'm saying? I lost. Right now. Listen, I bet Jags plus 2.5 last night. I paid right away, and on the Venmo it said same old Jags. That's what I Venmo'd the person. Description: same old Jags.
You bet on a preseason game.
2.5.
Gosh.
And guess what? Here's the best part. Where's my phone? I'll tell you when I paid. So the game started. What was the delay time, Brent?
40 minutes or so.
40 minutes. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't think you'd have it that fast. I
have answers, Casey.
Yeah.
I have answers.
So, we're just going to scroll a bit.
While you're doing this, Casey,
please,
have I never not paid, right? Do I owe you anything?
I mean, it depends on, what do you mean anything, but.
Casey thinks you owed him a trip to Canton.
I did.
He does.
I thought it was, I thought we were a team here, but.
Now he's got me thinking. He's like, maybe I didn't pay him for something he just hasn't told me about. I don't know.
You can make something up. Are you really going to remember?
I guess that's possible.
So I haven't found it.
Oh, Casey.
What the hell? I mean, how many messages do you have in a day?
What time did the game start?
8:40.
I paid at 9:18. Same old Jags.
You gave in.
I gave in.
You gave in. You were done.
Yep.
That was it. Hey, like sometimes doing this, give me one thing heading into the weekend. Maybe it's something sports related. Maybe something you got going on. Aaron, Jack, or play the game.
Well, I don't know about something all of you guys can do, but I'm definitely going to be hitting the basketball court this weekend. Weather's finally going to be a little bit dry. I'm going to take my son out there. His league starts up soon. I haven't been this excited in a very long time. As a matter of fact, we went to the trampoline park last weekend, and he's doing all these flips and twists and stuff. My wife's like, well, we got to get him back in gymnastics. I'm like, lady, hold on 3 minutes. Let me just watch him throw an assist, sink a bucket, grab a rebound one time, and then he could throw him back in the gymnastics. So I can't wait to get him on the basketball court.
Was your wife a
let's
gymnast?
be clear. Let's be clear. You're not playing basketball.
I'll be playing with him, just not hard.
Oh, okay.
Now, I don't let him win, so don't think he's going out there taking the dub.
All right.
Belonging to the 42-year-old.
Let's see if you can beat him. Casey asked the question, is your wife a former gymnast?
No, she's not a gymnast. We try to lean in where the kids enjoy whatever it is they're enjoying, right? So,
yeah.
My son really does like tumbling. He likes doing the flips. We signed him up for a toddler tumbling class. They called it ninja class. He loved it. And then the pandemic hit, so we pulled him out. But, I need a son who plays basketball. And I'm sorry if it takes him down the wrong path. I'm sorry. I was a baseball dad for a year.
No pressure, kid.
It was too much involved. Bring him. Just let's go play basketball, buddy. That's all I want. That's all I want.
Gymnastics is a lot of fun, by the way.
Sure.
The problem with gymnastics is a great young kid sport, but then after a while, you're like, you got to commit. Like, man, you guys think travel ball's crazy. Try being a gymnast.
Oh, is it that expensive? What are they paying for?
No, but it's like you can't go to school, or if you really go down that road, I mean, you're not. Most gymnasts are like homeschooled, I think.
I have no idea. I just know
train a lot a day.
I know all the ones who make it really far in their sport stunt their growth. So I don't want anything to do with that for my kid.
Interesting. That might not be a problem looking at you anyway. Casey, Give me one thing.
What? Yeah, that was real caustic for Brent. I would expect that from the Red Menace.
I like it. Some energy.
That's Friday for you right there.
Brent, here's what I got going this weekend. I'm getting my car back, so that's exciting. I'm on 2 weeks without it. Good thing the Jags are in Canton this week because I'm still on training camp IR. Might be back next week, though. I don't know what the parking situation is. But the real exciting thing for me is if you've been watching the stream, I'm rocking the Chelsea jersey today. The Premier League is back tomorrow. Chelsea
Don't
plays
say it
Everton.
like that.
What?
Premier League. Like you're from
Premier
England.
League.
Stop it.
It's Premier.
Ugh.
So that's what I'll be doing tomorrow. Actually, it started today. I was watching it during the show for like the first hour.
You really were. You had nothing. You wouldn't even have known the show was on unless I told you.
I wouldn't have.
You'd figure a guy that says Premier League would also say penal.
Nope.
No,
he's too stupid for that. He just likes
Penalize.
Premier League.
All right, have a good show coming up. Action Sports Shacks OT on the way. Casey Kurtz, Brian Middleton. By the way, my give me one thing has got to be right here. I mean, I've been waiting for the moment I've been waiting for out of this whole thing is not really Tony's speech. That'll be cool too. All the stuff, the culmination of everything that we've followed along the way for years and years, and that fans have for years and years. But I'm waiting to see like how many fans are actually in that stadium wearing teal. And I kind of want to see that moment, and I don't know what that looks like. There's a parade in the morning. There's the induction at noon. I don't really have an expectation. I think it's going to be cool to see, but how loud does it get? And I don't know if that will jump out on TV or not, so we'll try to at least illustrate that for you and share it with you from here on Saturday in our TV coverage, and then we'll tell you more about it early next week. But it's time. It's almost here for Tony Boselli. We'll see you on TV, CBS 47, Fox 30, a special at 7 o'clock, Jaguars All Access, and then 7:30, time for Tony's special. So 7 to 8, CBS 47, Fox 30. Hope you can join us then. But stay tuned on ESPN 690. Casey, Brian Middleton, have you covered. Have a good weekend, fellas. Have a good weekend to the rest of you as well. We'll see you Monday.
Do you make the most of your land? If you ask the Wrens, who run with us on a John Deere mower, they tell you,
I mow first, then I do all the trimming.
But the Hubbards, who work behind the wheel of a John Deere compact tractor, would say,
if it's something you want, just go after it and try it.
Then there's the Mosers, who may mention from the seat of their John Deere Gator UTV.
You can't be all work and not play.
There are millions of ways to make the most of your land. Learn how to make the most of yours at Deere.com. Nothing runs like a Deere.
Man, this is a nice truck.
Yeah, check this out. What? I changed it to remind me of my time at sea.
Weren't you in the Air Force?
Yeah, but I really love the ocean.
You could save and get $200 with Navy Federal Credit Union when you refinance your auto loans from another lender, leaving you with extra to spend on other things. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission. Credit and collateral subject to approval. Refinance loans must be at least $5,000 to be eligible for the $200. Terms and conditions apply. Learn more at NavyFederal.org.
Celsius Essential Energy is Jacksonville's official energy drink of summer, and Jacksonville summers are energized by Celsius. If you see ESPN 690 out and about this summer, come grab a sample of Celsius Essential Energy. Live fit.
A new era is here for Jaguars football. New championship-winning coach, new superstars, and new optimism. One consistent this fall is Tailgaters Parking will still be delivering the very best tailgating experience at the bank all season. Tailgaters Parking doesn't just talk a big game. They're right across the street from TIAA Bank Field. Offer clean, permanent restrooms, food options, a full liquor bar, and all parking spots are on a well-kept grass lot. Check out Tailgaters Parking at tailgatorsparking.com to reserve your spot today.
Hi, I'm Mike Holmes, professional contractor and TV host. I love helping people, but when it came to improving the water in my own home, I needed help and turned to the water experts at Connecticut to make it right. My water was causing visible problems throughout my home, and it got me thinking about the problems I couldn't see. Protecting my water using appliances and pipes, preventing stains and hardness buildup, and having clean, great-tasting drinking water are all important to me. But choosing the right water treatment equipment can be tricky. That's where Connecticut comes in. A Connecticut water expert will test your water for free and recommend the system that fits your needs and budget. Improve the quality of your water and your life with the Connecticut Water Treatment System. I'm so glad I did.
This year, CGC Water Treatment is celebrating 75 years in business. Call 904-552-1242 or visit cgcwater.com for your free assessment. CGC Water Treatment are proud partners of the Jacksonville Jaguars and your local independent Connecticut dealer.
The summer of performance is back, and so is the legendary Acura Integra. Visit your First Coast Acura dealers for aggressive APR offers and exclusive summer bonuses on the next-gen 2023 Integra today. FirstCoastAcuraDealers.com.
In the wee hours of the night, when everyone else is fast asleep, you're the one on third shift, burning the midnight oil. When a part fails and everything comes to a grinding halt, regardless of what the clock on the wall says, you leap into action. Grainger is with you and all the ones who get it done. With 24/7 customer support by phone or click to chat. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, poker players! The Summer Heater Poker Tournament Series is at Best Bet Jackson from August 11th to the 21st, featuring 11 different poker tournaments, including the main event, a no-limit hold'em tournament with a $1,500 buy-in from August 19th to the 21st. If you're looking for an exciting poker tournament this summer, visit us at Best Bet Jacksonville, Florida's largest poker room. View the tournament and satellite schedule at bestbetjacks.com. That's bestbetjacks.com. Don't miss it.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anna Jar and Levine studios. Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690, Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station.
This is SportsCenter.
Down with breaking news, Dodgers lefty Clayton Kershaw goes on the injured list with lower back pain. Kershaw had to leave his start against the Giants on Thursday. The Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov says today Russia is ready to talk privately about a prisoner swap that could include Phoenix Mercury center Brittany Griner. With Deshaun Watson's 6-game suspension now under appeal by the NFL, ESPN's Jeff Darlington says Watson may be able to start in the season opener, referring back to Ezekiel Elliott's appeal in 2017.
Ultimately, it was not until, I think, October 17th that he withdrew his appeal and started to serve a suspension. So it is very possible, is my point here, that Deshaun Watson could still be under center week 1 for the Cleveland Browns if this does go through the legal system.
Jeff Darlington on KJ and Max. Cardinals running backs coach James Saxon goes on paid administrative leave while he waits for a court date on domestic battery charges. He faces 2 counts from an incident in Indianapolis back in May.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. If you're a renter, make sure you're protected. Renter's insurance includes options that cover stolen property, personal injury, and living expenses if your place is damaged. Quote Renter's Insurance at Progressive.com.
No feet in the parking lot just yet. We'll do that in about 50 minutes. But for right now, it's Action Sports Jacks Overtime. It's ESPN 690. It's Casey Kurtz and it's Brian Middleton, the broadcast on. He'll be down here in just a second, finishing up with the traffic on 104.5 WOKV. But like I said, Casey Kurtz, Brian Middleton, Action Sports Jacks Overtime. We talk a little bit about the Jags, what happened last night that we did not break down in the last 3 hours. If you're just jumping in, though, we'll break it down for you the best that we can. We start, though, today with a little post-game reaction, one we didn't get to from 3 to 6, with somebody who played a lot and even way more than expected, and that's Walker Little. He joined Luke Fortner on the line for the entire first half. Surprised to see him go the whole first half. Was not surprised to see him play, but the amount of reps that he got, especially at the right tackle position, definitely valuable in his hunt to take the starting job away from Jawan Taylor. Played a lot last night. We hear from Luke Fortner to start off Action Sports Jacks Overtime right now.
We got a lot of action in there, man. Was it good to get out?
Yeah, it was good to get back into it. First game back, there's always a little bit of rust, but I thought we did a really good job out there communicating and just trying to, as offense line, protect and as offense in general, just get in a rhythm.
How important is it for you to just get game action? I mean, it's been on and off for a few years now.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to get out there and just get, live game reps. And, it's good for all of us coming off of an off season. You get back into training camp and we've had a few padded days, but just to have a full live game was really good for us, and I thought it was good for the whole team.
How have you felt over at right tackle, and are you getting comfortable on that side?
Yeah, I feel really good over there, and it was a little bit of adjustment moving over from left to right, but I think I've had a lot of really good players that have been helping me on the team, and our coaches have done a really great job with me, and I'm feeling really comfortable.
Do you feel like through training camp, you guys as an offensive line that have worked as the first group and built some cohesion?
Yeah, I think we're doing a really good job as an offensive line as a whole of building cohesion and getting better. I think we're going to be really good when the season gets going.
So you expect next week when the offensive line plays together to see some of that?
Yeah, I think we'll build on what we did tonight, and we'll be better next week.
Some of the guys had Boselli shirts on. I mean, obviously the magnitude of it for the franchise in the city, but he's an offensive lineman. What's this whole kind of couple of days mean, even to a young guy?
Yeah, I mean, it's a really big deal. First Jaguar to get in the Hall of Fame, and for it to be an offensive lineman, especially a guy like Tony that was so influential, first guy drafted to this franchise, and really was a model of what it means to be a Jaguar. And so it was a big deal for all of us, and we were really excited to get the opportunity to play in this game with him being the first Jaguar to get in the Hall of Fame.
Just too bad he played for USC.
Yeah, exactly.
Walker Little, not a USC fan, obviously attending a other school in California, but that is Walker Little, right tackle of the Jags. And I don't think I'm going out on a limb here, likely the starting right tackle for the Jacksonville Jaguars when we get to September 11th against the Washington Commanders. Like I said after the game, and we'll get into the game right now a little bit. On offense, you didn't see a lot in terms of the starters. Fortner and Little were two of them. On the playmaking part of it, Laquan Treadwell obviously was out there, not a starter, but somebody who was a starter last year for the team. Snoop Connor, obviously a draft pick. Jake Luton. I guess we can start there, although there's not a whole lot to break down with Jake Luton. He's not going to be the quarterback of this team. Practice squad at best. He was trying out for another opportunity at another team in this game last night, and he had his moments. He has a big arm. There's no doubt about it. He can make some throws, but sometimes that arm gets away from him, and he overshoots guys like he did a little bit last night. In the running back department, Snoop Connor obviously got some carries, kickoff return duty as well. Nothing that would blow you out of the water, but really you got none of that from the offensive side for the Jags. It was overall not very good. All of the offensive line, Walker Little said it there, it'll get better. It wasn't that bad, though. They couldn't run the football until the end of the game, obviously, when the Raiders subs were in there, but They, for the most part, kept a pretty clean pocket, in my estimation. Jake Luton was not in a lot of trouble most of the game, so I think they played okay in terms of what they had. Will Richardson Jr. was out there as well as Fortner and Walker Little. But when you move to the defensive side of the ball, obviously we had that heart attack early in the game with Tyson Campbell going down. And on the TV broadcast, I think we all feel the same way there. It looked pretty bad. I was getting texts from friends out of the area. They're like, yo, that doesn't look very good. Luckily, Tyson Campbell gets off, walks off the field on his own power, even comes back in the game, which is surprising. A lot of guys on the defensive side played, and Jared Stidham was shredding for a minute there with the Las Vegas Raiders. He was finding open guys in wide open space. Josh Jacobs was running the football. Granted, a guy like Josh Jacobs was in the game, which surprised me, the amount of carries he got as the unquestioned number one back for the Raiders. But a couple of nice carries from him. The Jags defense bend, not break. They give up the field goals. Obviously, Carlson was not going to miss those. But overall, not going to make any estimations for the season, but you definitely had something left to be desired there from the defense. Obviously, no Josh Allen out there, and some of the key pieces. Fatukasi is another one. You think the run defense will get better when Fatukasi is in there. Lewican, another guy that we did not see, but Jenkins and Cisco in the back end. Cisco, by the way, I don't want to over-dramatize this because it is a preseason and he is a safety and this is what he's meant to do, but a couple of one-on-one tackles in the open field with space that would have been touchdown-saving tackles. Obviously, Rayshawn Jenkins was doing his job on the play somewhere else on the field. But Cisco made a couple of nice tackles when Josh Jacobs got into space, and then another one on their tight end, I believe. But 2 big tackles from Cisco. That's positive to see. But on defense, the story was indeed the number 1 pick in the draft, Trayvon Walker. He looked so good, so fantastic. And you know, if you've been listening to this show, I said that they, in my estimation, I thought the Jags should have taken Thibodeau with that pick. But I'm telling you, I'm prepared to eat my words after the performance last night. It was only 2 series. It was not a lot of game action, but at the end of the day, he looked very good. The bull rush, obviously, on the first drive, the penalty was crap. There's no doubt about it. The penalty was a weak call to start the season, but nonetheless, he looked great on the bull rush. He looked great on the run, which we kind of thought going in, but he blew up a couple of run plays, missed the tackle on one, got the other one, and then he gets the actual sack. So a fantastic and world-class first performance for Trayvon Walker in my estimation. And it gives you an idea of what it will look like in the future when Josh Allen is indeed out there. And you start looking at it, the disruption that he caused in his first game. You know the disruption Josh Allen can cause. You get Fadakasi back with some push in the middle, Devon Hamilton as well. And you got to think, man, this could be something very, very serious on the defensive line for the Jags if Walker continues to look that way. Hopefully we can see him and Josh Allen play a little bit against the Cleveland Browns when we get there next week, right around this time, almost exactly this time. So the highlight, definitely Trayvon Walker in game 1 of the preseason, the Hall of Fame game. The Jags do lose, and like I said, on the offensive side, nothing to really be that excited about, but it's early. Game 1 of the preseason, we got the Browns still to go. We have the Steelers still to go right here in Jacksonville, and hopefully we see some Trevor Lawrence in those games. We take a break. Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690 on a Friday. We got more to do, though. I said what I said coming up when Brian Middleton gets in here, but we take our first break of the day right now. Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 in Canton, Ohio, all week for Pro Football Hall of Fame week. And that means the inductions of Tony Boselli and Jacksonville's Leroy Butler as well. We'll have you covered Thursday and Friday into the weekend as well on the TV side, CBS 47, Fox 30, on social media, and right here on ESPN 690. Join the show live before kickoff between the Raiders and the Jags on Thursday, 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. on ESPN 690.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Tonight, there will be a few coastal showers, but inland neighborhoods look dry under partly cloudy skies with lows in the middle 70s. Your Saturday, a brief shower at the coast, shifting inland by the afternoon and evening hours, highs in the low 90s inland, 80s at the beaches with a partly sunny sky. I'm meteorologist Stella Sepedjic, and that's your Action News Jax First Alert forecast.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beards Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, 0 interest financing with nothing down.
I love my hardwood floors, but I wasn't sure how to take care of them. Carrying around a bucket was such a hassle. And even worse, my string mop left streaks and haze behind. Then I found Swiffer Wet Jet Wood, the all-in-one tool made specially for wood floors. Its microfiber-like pad is soft, and it sprays a light mist solution that dries fast. With Swiffer Wet Jet Wood, it's easy to keep up with the mess on my wood floors. Even that mess.
Swiffer Wet Jet Wood, proud member of the National Wood Floor Association.
Technology lets autonomous vacuums work around the house. Ow, that's my toe. But when your team has to work seamlessly around the world, you need more than technology. You need CDW, who can help transform your organization with Lenovo ThinkPads, pre-configured for management flexibility with the Intel Evo platform. Responsive collaboration tools give your team effortless connectivity to stay focused wherever they work. That's it. Go to your charging station. Lenovo makes seamless productivity possible. CDW makes it powerful. Learn more at cdw.com/Lenovo Client.
Stay cool this summer with AC Pro and O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, get a $15 O'Reilly Auto Parts gift card after mail-in rebate with the purchase of select AC Pro ready-to-use refrigerant products that include a hose and gauge. Beat the heat before you hit the road with AC Pro at your local O'Reilly Auto Parts store.
Auto Parts.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, Deadline fast approaching. But a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Listen to ESPN 690 anytime, anywhere, on any device. Whether you're at home or on the go, get the latest on the Jags, FSU, the Jumbo Shrimp, and Action Sports Jacks on Odyssey.com. That's AUDACY.com or on ESPN690.com.
Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690 on a Friday. Casey Kurtz, Brian Middleton with you after a Jacksonville Jaguar game day where it was, not
your
pretty.
Your boy.
What's up?
Did you have an open, Casey? Did you have an open about the disdain you had for the Jags in their front office?
I did not have an open.
In
no.
April?
Mm-mm.
In May?
Mm-mm.
Heck, in March?
Well, we were feeling okay and
you knew you were going to
May.
they were going to do something that you didn't. What? Nah, fam.
We were feeling okay in May. Yes, we were. The free agents were done. We thought they did good in the free agency.
I'm only talking about one thing. That number one overall pick, Casey Kurtz. Now, I walked in on the very end. First of all, kudos to you. Let me back up even more.
Okay.
People out there, I don't know if you realize what you're experiencing right now, okay? Oftentimes in life, Casey Kurtz, we don't realize the moments we were in, the moments we had a chance to partake of until we get to look back, right? Until we get further along in the journey. Maybe we get a promotion. Maybe you get booed up. You're like, oh, that's where I met her, or him or whatever at. You know what I mean? Or this is where my mentor took me initially to get me to where I'm at right now. The first segment of this show, Casey Kurtz had already done 3 hours of radio.
I have.
After 4.5, 5 days, or however you wanted to measure it out, of talking, and without missing a beat, without missing a whole half of the show co-host-wise. Just took him for another 12 minutes. That's what he does, people. Okay, you can't get that smoothly everywhere. Get it entertaining, get facts in a way that you may not have perceived it before. That's a talent, folks. Appreciate what you got while you got it. Because Casey Kurtz said, as soon as I get that Pat McAfee contract, I'm gone. I'm gone.
Yep.
Unless they're going to let you base out of Jacksonville, in which case, I'll stay, but they probably not. You probably going to have to go out to L.A., New York, Houston, Chicago, somewhere.
Not
Chicago.
Houston. I ain't going to that airport
Houston.
again.
Okay. The other thing that I want to correlate this to is last night watching Trayvon Walker for all 8 plays, 10 plays, 12 plays, whatever it may be.
2 series, for sure.
Let me tell you what, okay? I'm excited even more.
You should be.
Now, I've been high on this defense this offseason after the draft as they completed some of the free agent moves and whatnot. But I was like, I'm looking at last season, I'm looking at this season. Another year together with more talent. We had some guys already. I am firmly standing by the Jags being a top 5 to 7 defense when everything is said and done in February of next year. We're going to look at them regular season stats. Hopefully we're looking at the playoff, defensive stat leaders. But we're going to look at them regular season stats, and you're going to see Jacksonville up there with the Baltimores, with the San Francisco, with the Buffaloes.
I hope you're right.
I mean, listen, never seen Lawrence Taylor and Trayvon Walker in the same room.
Still haven't.
I haven't done it yet. Someone just send me a picture, and I'll be like, I'm wrong. There they go.
Yeah.
There they go.
Still haven't. He was impressive last night, man. There's no doubt about it. There wasn't a lot of positives.
There wasn't.
He was like the only one.
Yeah.
And the fact that Tyson Campbell wasn't actually hurt.
I almost texted you right then and there.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'm not going to mess with that man right now. But when they cut to Dougie P, he looked like he's ready to take everybody out. He's like, you know what? We forfeit the rest. The next 3.5 quarters, you guys got it.
Yeah.
You guys win.
Yeah, that's literally, there was a concern. There's no doubt about it right there. But, yeah, Trayvon Walker looked great. Like, there's no doubt about it. He looked great. And I said it 3 times during the regular show. I'll now say it for the second time today. I'm prepared to eat my words. on the Thibodeau part of it. I'm not going to do that yet because it's one preseason game.
It's too early.
He looked great, though. That bull rush was fantastic. The way he got off the edge, and I'm telling you, man, I cannot wait for them to get Josh Allen in there and they can do it together. Because they might have something here.
Who are you gonna double? You got double and chip?
That's the thing.
What you gonna run, wing T? You gonna keep everybody in?
And then
Holy smokes.
you've got a Fadakasi and potentially a Hamilton in the middle. Fadakasi's going to be a problem too. He wasn't out there last night. He's usually a run stuffer, but he going to give you some push now in the middle. And the other part of this is like Arden Key looked very good last night, a couple of sacks, and Arden Key doesn't get those sacks without Kaylavon Chason.
Yep.
Kaylavon Chason was back there. He was making old boy run the other way, running right into Arden Key. Chason looked good.
Hey, my man said, listen, man, y'all bringing more talent on. I got to make this team. I got to make sure I'm staying on this team. Y'all ain't trying to move me or something like, hey, hold on now. I'm trying to be here.
Now, in fairness, right, Chason should be better than their second-string tackles.
You hope.
He's first. He should be.
Round.
There's no doubt. He should be. He should be a lot better, actually. He should be world-class better than a second-stringer when you're a first-round pick. But if it just took him a little bit to develop, and that's what he is now, you look at Josh Allen, you look at Chason, you look at Smoot, you look at Arden Key, you look at Trayvon Walker, and you're like, holy cow. They might be able to get some sacks. Because it's been, obviously, Saxonville. But since Saxonville was no more, they've had a hard time getting there. That year they lost at all but one. They had like 20 team sacks total.
Yeah.
Last year was a little better. You had Josh Allen all season last year, though. That helped, or most of the season.
I mean, when they had that back-to-back sack with Walker and
Arden Key.
Yeah, Key. I'm sorry. Man. I was like, now, wait a minute now. I know it's the first game. I know it's vanilla offense. I don't care. The other people on the other side trying too. You hear me?
They were. At that time in the game, those guys are trying to start at the right tackle position for the Raiders because they have questions on their offensive line. So those are all guys capable of starting and working for the job, and they just got outplayed by the front of the Jacksonville Jaguars last night in the first couple series. There is no doubt. Old buddy that was playing left tackle against Trayvon Walker, he's getting cut.
He is like, why did they put me out here with this guy?
One play in, he's on his back.
On his back?
He was not ready. Buddy was not ready for that. He was also not ready for the other series of the game as well. When he finally got home, I mean, he was overpowering him. He was overpowering him.
Yo, he watched a bunch of film. He watched a bunch of UGA film.
Yeah.
And he was like, he saw all the other stars, and he was like, yeah, I see Trayvon Walker. I don't know why he went number one, though.
Now he does.
Walker was like, okay.
Now he does.
Huh?
Yeah.
Let this rain delay. Let this grass, this turf dry up just a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. So it was a great night in terms of the pass rush, but everything else was.
When they missed the first kick.
60 yards, though.
Actually,
he hit it well.
The first kick, when he got the touchback,
okay.
I almost texted you because I was like, hey,
yeah, no,
here we go.
Yeah.
He missed the kick, and I was like, I'm a Jacksonville fan. So, that's par for the course.
I can't tell you how confused I was when I looked up and they were kicking a 60-yard field goal.
Hey, man.
When I looked at it and it was a 60-yard field goal attempt, I was like, you got to be kidding me. We can't make it from 25. And he almost made it. He had the leg. He didn't have the accuracy.
Santoso.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder now, like, Matthew Wright might not get another shot.
Brian Santoso might be the first kicker, defensive lineman, that little multiple position
big, bro.
Since like 1953. I'm sure they had that back in the 50s.
Here's the thing.
Kicking.
I wish this guy didn't kick touchbacks because can you imagine the problem he would be running down to cover?
Business decisions.
I'm saying.
Sliding out of bounds, getting down. Two-hand touch me on the ground. I'm a quarterback right now.
I tell you what. One other thing on the defense before we get off it. Chad Muma played a lot at the linebacker position, and I'm not going to put it lightly. He missed a few tackles. That's going to get better. And I am glad that they put him out there because I was wondering in terms of Wyoming, does it translate? I think eventually will. Josh Allen, it eventually did. Logan Wilson, it eventually did. But it didn't happen right away. So I was a big believer in let's let Muma play. We know he's athletic. We know he's going to fly around, but let's let him do it. And then Brent and Aaron argued with me because they don't know anything. And he goes out there, and it was a little bit quick for him. There was times he was a step behind in coverage. He missed a couple of tackles. Like I said, he did make a couple tackles. But I'm not giving up on Chad Muma at all. I think he's still gonna be a good player. But I'm glad they put him out there and let him go through that for the first time, because I think if you go back and watch, I have a feeling, if you watch every single play that Chad Muma has in the preseason that he makes or doesn't make, but he puts his hands on somebody, I think when we get to that Atlanta Falcons game or the Steelers game, I don't know if they'll play him in that Atlanta game because it's the last one, but when we get to that Steelers game, I guarantee you it's better. I guarantee you it's 15 times better.
Okay.
Because last night I was absolutely not impressed, but then I was like, you know what? This is what I wanted. I wanted this to happen now, because if this happens next week against the Browns and he's missing tackles, then I'm kind of concerned because we wasted an opportunity to let him play. You know what I mean?
That's fair.
We let it happen. I guarantee you he gets better. I like the kid. And then it's weird calling somebody a kid, by the way, at the age of 24, because he's younger than me.
He's your peer.
Yeah, it felt right to call him a kid. But anyway, I have belief in this young man, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just glad that they let it play out. That's one thing I am happy that they let it do. It wasn't great, but I think it will get better. You know what else wasn't great? Football hit the ground twice for the Jags.
I was going to say fumbles, Casey. We're on the same wavelength. But then again, I'm like, as a Jags fan, I'm like, all right, nothing I haven't seen before.
Right, I know. You texted me like, hey, this is PTSD. Yeah. The Treadwell one doesn't count, but I have to imagine that's still going to come up in film, right? The ground caused it. But, you can't afford that if you're Laquan Treadwell.
Sure
You certainly can't afford it if you're, what's my man's name that actually fumbled?
Bruh, listen. I think I remember. Was it 14? No.
Yeah.
It wasn't 14.
Yeah. What he played for the Lions, bro. What is my man's name?
Nah, it wasn't Agnew.
No, not that one.
I'm trying to think. Either way.
Yeah. The point of the story is that can't happen.
That can't happen, and neither can moments to build upon, just momentum. Like when my man ran it back for like 85 or 90 yards.
Yeah, and somebody held. Yeah.
And something just held. I'm just like, bro. I mean, unless you're the one that sprung him, I got to be real with you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cuttable offense.
It really is. Marvin Hall, by the way, is my man who fumbled.
Got you. Hall, that's what it was.
Yeah, Marvin Hall.
Was he 14?
14.
Yeah, okay. I just remember the number, 14.
Yeah, like, we can't have that. Like, I know it's the preseason, but, like, this is the Jags. Like, I'm telling you, if there's one team not to fumble on in the preseason, it's the Jags. Because, like, it's just another thing where it's like you go on Twitter, and again, it's probably not that big of a deal, but you go on Twitter, everyone has this same trauma.
and it is trauma.
We all have this same trauma. So, like, he fumbles, we all go to Twitter, and it's like, here we go again. Same old Jags. PTSD from the turnover, says Brian Miller. It's like, it's true. Like, we can't afford that. I know one fumble is not going to, cost, but not one person in the wide receiver room last night that I look at, I was like, you know what? That guy's good. That guy has a chance to make the team. No. Now, granted, the quarterback play was very sus. But on offense, there was not one moment where I was like, you know what? This guy right here, this guy's going to be on the team.
Mm-hmm. Not one? Not one.
Not of...
When did you stop watching? Did you watch all 4 quarters?
I watched
intently?
all 4 quarters. I watched all 2 very intently.
Okay.
And I watched the back 2 while I was on TikTok.
There we go.
But, like, Snoop Connor was fine.
Right.
I actually thought the offensive line was good. I said that in the first segment. I thought that it was pretty clean for the most part. They couldn't run the ball. I don't know if that's Snoop Connor. I don't know if that's you played your starting center and your starting right tackle and the whole left side was not your... You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why couldn't they run the ball? Was it the back? Was it the vision? Was the thing? But the pocket was pretty clean, and then the quarterback play was gross.
I just... one of the sideline interviews with Trevor and ETN, and I just got to tell you, man, I can't wait till the regular season. I know it was a tough transition from where you were just talking about, but you were talking about the pocket. So Trevor popped into my mind. I just thought about that interview. And the thing is, Travis Etienne is what, like 5'9", 5'10"? The interviewer, she was like looking at Travis in his eye.
She was.
And Trevor was just towering over
Trevor's
both of them.
huge.
Now,
yeah.
he calls them kids. But it was just, I'm so excited. Even from him just answering about, hey, I feel like we got a good stuff coming into the season. Because Trevor seems like he is going to respond the way that you want him to respond, maybe prepackaged, but he isn't going to BS you. Like, there's a delicate line to that.
Yeah.
More times than not. You feel what I'm saying?
I do.
And he feels like he's going to be that type of guy. So if he tells me, and it's not just rah-rah, like, we're going to work and we're close, because he was saying that last season. And I get it. It's hard to hear after, week 12, week 13, week 14. But, man, I feel like there's a certain energy, even in that little interview, that, man, I think this is going to be, we're going to have some good moments, more good moments than we've had the past 4 or 5 years.
I tell you what, I agree with that. And here's what's funny about it, because you kind of just said it, and I'm going to hammer it home before we go to break.
Mm-hmm.
They looked awful on offense. And I still am with you. I'm like, you know what? I'm so excited. Like, they showed me nothing last night that made me believe. Like, even the play calling, and I know it was very vanilla. Like, they didn't show that much. The play design that, what's my man's name? Farrell. He got open on and threw a good ball, and that was like their best pass play of the game.
Yeah.
That was a good play design. I like that. I don't know if they had other good play designs in the passing game and like dudes were overthrown or whatnot. But like, you see that, I'm like, hey, I'm still super excited, even though they looked horrible on offense. Like, nothing from the offensive side deterred me from thinking this is going to be potentially good. You know?
I'm with you.
Now, granted, if they can't move the ball against Cleveland, I might have a different opinion.
Only if Trevor and ETN and Christian Kirk is out there, then I'm like, well.
Trevor's going to play. I would be very surprised if Trevor doesn't play at all against Cleveland. He's definitely going to play against Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
He's not going to play against Atlanta.
No.
Like, can you imagine when they play Cleveland? Right? And this is the number one thing Brent is warned against, but I'm going to do it.
Let's do it.
Can you imagine if Trevor plays one series against Cleveland and they score?
Ooh. Come on.
You're not going to be able to tell me nothing for weeks.
Wait till I get my money right.
Don't you dare let it be a long pass to Christian Kirk.
Then you can't tell me nothing, right?
Don't let anybody break a tackle and go somewhere.
Tell it.
Don't let Trevor go like 4 for 4, 5 for 5.
Ooh, hey, cause what, Casey?
You won't be able to tell me nothing.
Not a thing?
Not a thing.
Like you Kanye in 07?
Kanye in 07. I will co-sign Brian Middleton's the Super Bowl champs for practice holding training camp at Episcopal High School.
Oh, right now.
Yeah, I will co-sign that if they score against Cleveland. And then we'll, this is probably where you fade the music. And then we'll come back to reality when they, don't look great against the Commanders, but we'll have that excitement because Brent's like, hey, don't do that. It's not a big deal if they score. And I will argue with him forever. He said, I've seen it. I've been here 15 years. That's great, Brent. They need to score in the preseason. You know how bad they were last year at scoring? Trevor needs to lead them to a scoring drive in one of these games. Preferably both.
And make it look easy. How about that one?
Make it look like it is a chore to be out there. Like, you are wasting my time making me throw these passes to wide open Christian Kirk and wide open whoever else.
Like, the longer y'all keep me out here, the dumber I'm gonna make y'all look.
Like, I want him to yawn.
You know what I mean?
Like, he throws the ball over the top to Kirk and he goes, and I just want
start walking off like Steph does when he shoots the 3 from 50 feet.
Yeah. He's just looking around.
Toss the ball, just walk to the sideline. That's a touchdown.
Just the NFL.
That's 6.
What is this? That's what we need to see. But the point of the story is this. Trayvon Walker looked really good last night. I won't give up on him. I'm excited, Brian Middleton. I'm excited as you can be after your team scores 11 points and gets blown out by the Las Vegas Raiders. By the way, the Raiders, their backups are good. Raiders might be legit. Are you surprised Josh Jacobs played a lot?
Yes.
I was.
Absolutely.
They didn't pick up his 5th-year option, and they said, you know what?
You got to show me.
It.
Yeah, you got to prove it to me.
Yeah, so that was Jarrett Stidham, by the way, looked pretty good as well. He was shredding the Jags. I'm not saying like trade for Jarrett Stidham and start him.
Okay, thank you, because I thought that.
Yeah, I ran us out of music, huh?
The love of Stidham over here.
No. He's still a backup, but he might be quality going with McDaniels, from that Patriots way.
Okay.
I'm just saying, he looked good. He
That's
looked
fair.
good against the Jags. Semi-starters on defense. It is what it is. But nonetheless, NFL football is back. Jacksonville Jaguars football is back. And the Browns come to town next week. Will Deshaun Watson play? We got a whole week to break that one down. But what we don't have in this segment is any more time. I know, Brian Middleton. That's my fault. Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
When Smart Tools give you control, you own it. When you're confident in your decisions, you own it. When you're sure someone's got your back, you own it. At Community First Credit Union, you can own it all. With free digital banking, fewer fees, and a team that's ready to help, you're in control of your money so you can live your life your way. Go ahead and own it. Add an account today at justbeyourself.com. Community First Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
It's not easy being the one everyone counts on to keep the facility running, no matter the weather or supply chain hiccup. But we get you, Raymond in Buffalo, and Maria in Miami, Jules in Minneapolis, and Stan in Central Indiana, taking control of everything that's under your control. At Grainger, we're here for you with experienced branch staff at over 250 locations so you get the product you're looking for. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I'm Susan Appleton, owner of Appleton Communication and a Jags Chamber member. I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to serve the Jacksonville Women's Business Center on the Society of Small Businesses and to work with women business leaders in Northeast Florida. I'm proud to be a part of JWBC by offering women the opportunity to enhance their communication strategies and relationship building skills as a venture leadership facilitator. JWBC continues to innovate resources and education and provides women entrepreneurs the space to network and prosper alongside each other. This support is invaluable to women in business, and I am most thankful to be a part of it. For more information, visit JacksChamberFoundation.org.
Now that the kids are back in school, I can see the beating the house has taken. The carpets, the tile and grout, the area rugs, and even the sofa needs a good cleaning. If your home needs some cleaning, give Zero Res a call. Right now, get 50% off tile and grout ceiling. Zero Res, spelled forward or backwards, it's the right way to clean.
The 6th Annual Almond Family Revival, rating Greg Allman's legacy. November 30th. Featuring the Devin Allman Project, Dwayne Betts, Donovan Frankenreiter, and more. On sale now at floridatheater.com.
Mom, can I have some ice cream?
I've got a better idea. Who wants to help me make something fun and healthy instead?
Eating smarter is easy and delicious. Interested in receiving healthy recipes and a whole lot more in your email? Then register at healthiestweightfl.com and learn more about all the small steps that you can take on the way to living healthy. This message is sponsored by the Ounce of Prevention Fund of Florida, the Florida Department of Health, the Florida Association of Broadcasters, and this radio station.
You know what's great about getting older? The toys are way cooler. Spring is here, and it's playtime. Yeah! And One-to-One Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, has slash loan rates across the board on all the toys. Motorcycles, jet skis, boats, RVs, ATVs, even golf carts. And it's fun and potentially dangerous. One-to-One Financial has the perfect loan to help you finance it. Check out our rock bottom rates and apply now at one-to-one-fcu.org. Come out and play. Federally insured by NCUA.
If you want to hit the road this summer in a fuel-efficient ride that's just right for the journey ahead, then listen up, because you need to rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. If you've tried to rent lately, then you know rental companies are short on inventory, but not our friends over at Arlington Toyota Rent-A-Car. Arlington has a whole lot of rental stock ready to rent at a great price. Plus, renting a Toyota is the best way to try it before you buy it. Arlington's 2022 models to rent. Just go to arlington.com, reserve your rental, and discover just how good Toyota Rent-A-Car can be.
For seniors, staying healthy can be complicated, but one of the easiest routes to good health is prevention. No matter what our community's current COVID-19 infection rates are, getting your booster shot now is a smart way to protect yourself from severe illness later. ElderSource encourages people 65 and up to get a safe, free COVID-19 booster. For more information, visit myeldersource.org or call the ElderSource helpline at 888-242-4464.
5X480. Dayton B100 V-Belt, one of the many parts Grainger carries. It's also the item that helped Rob carry the day. The job was on hold, deadline fast approaching, but a quick search on Grainger.com and Rob found his part. And with same-day pickup at his local branch, he and his crew got the job done, safely and on time. Get supplies and solutions for every industry with real-time product availability. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, it's Brent Mortno from Action Sports Jacks. Did you know you can watch our radio show? Yeah, video of a radio show. Just search ESPN 690 Jacks on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Or follow me on Twitter at Brent A.S. Jacks. Watch the show live weekdays from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m. or listen on ESPN 690.
Couple minutes ago, Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690 on a Friday. About to get out of here for the weekend. Brian Middleton on the ones and twos, about to get out of here for his weekend as well.
2 feet in the parking lot.
2 feet.
2 feet in the parking lot. We need to make that a sound, man.
We do. That's a good one. We got some tires in the parking lot, though, because we still here. It don't matter how many feet we got out there. The car tires, all 4 of them, still firmly in the parking lot for 11 more minutes or so. We're going to be running out of here. I have a feeling.
Did you clean the car? Did you clean the car?
Did I clean it?
Yeah, man. I saw Amanda's tweet, man.
No, I didn't clean it.
You ain't got a front for me, man.
No, I didn't clean it.
Okay.
You can go look.
That ain't what I heard, man.
No. Here's what happened.
I heard if it wasn't clean, I heard,
Here's what happened. She cleaned it, and that was the complainer. Like, she got in and was, like, mad that it was, like, not even dirty. Like, Brent gave me, like, 3 shirts in the span of a week.
Okay.
He kept getting free shirts, so he gives them to me. It's like a charity thing.
Okay.
I appreciate it, though. I need shirts. But
he give you, like, what's 2X?
Yeah.
Hey, man, tell him to pull 2 next time, man. He Brent Martineau. They'll give him 2 of them.
Oh, yeah, I'll tell him. You 2X?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll tell him. Anyway, so Brent gave me, like, 3 shirts in the span of a week. Chase Bunker gave me a shirt from WOKV, from the Rays. He went to a Rays game, got a giveaway, gave it to me.
There you go.
I had a hat in there and, like, a plate, right? And she's like, it's too dirty in the car. So she go to the, we got one of those car washes by our house where you can, like, car wash and then sweep out your car.
Yeah.
And so she went and cleaned and, like, swept out the car, and then she made the comment. So the car was already clean. Like, there was nothing left to do.
So you trying to tell me that she was fronting for Twitter? She was fronting for social media?
Yeah, listen, everything she does. Listen, you think I'm big. The people listening for, like, 3 hours, first of all, I don't think we do this enough, Brian Middleton. Can we please clap it up for the people that start listening at 3 and are still here at 6:40?
Hey, man, you listen, man, if I had the sound queued up, I would have played it for you guys.
We appreciate everybody, but if you're still here for 3 hours and 40 minutes, God bless you. There's no other way to put it. But listen, I do a lot of things for Twitter, right? Trying to get the clout, Twitter followers. Amanda, she be tweeting everything. So that was a flex on Twitter because here's the truth. Brent Martineau follows Amanda, right?
Okay.
And I know her plan. She's just hoping that Brent catches on one of these tweets where she's making fun of me, and then he brings it up to me because that'd be a win for Amanda.
Yeah.
But little does Amanda know, Brent's only on Twitter for his own tweets.
That's true.
You know? He don't see nobody else's tweets.
That's true. You
Certainly
don't even
not
check
mine.
that feed.
Yeah.
You go straight to his profile. It's like,
boom, boom, and then he tweets again. It's that simple. So, the car did officially get cleaned, though. I didn't do it. I'm getting my car back tomorrow, though.
Hey!
So, yeah, I'll be off the training camp IR. Might even make it down to Jags.
Look at you.
Look at me.
I mean, listen, man, that's big.
It is.
I'm just saying.
I'm only 2 weeks late. But it's okay. They still got a pass from me, I think. Anyway, that's the update on the car. Again, if you've been listening for all 3 hours, you know about the car. But if you only listen to OT, just know that my car is occasionally not working. We had the flat tire scenario.
You got the tire fixed 6 weeks later.
Got the tire fixed 6 weeks later. As soon as we got back from the tire, our battery didn't start. So we had to get the battery fixed, if you remember.
Yeah, that was an amazing time.
That was an amazing time. And then we got some other problems that are going down right now. My mom has it, but she's bringing it back from Tallahassee tomorrow.
Well, your mom's not a problem, though. Okay?
No. The problems,
Show some respect.
She fixed
you feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right. She fixed the problems that the car had. She said, I'm going to pick it up, I'm going to fix the things, and then I'm going to bring it back to you, and it'll be fine.
I didn't know your mom was a mechanic. That's what's up, man.
I didn't say they're mechanical
Share the
problems.
wealth, man.
My mom is
She
not
got
a
a direct
mechanic.
line? She got like a IG page or something that I can
She does.
send request to?
She does,
Okay.
yes. I don't think I want to give you my mom's IG.
I don't think I want it unless she really fixes cars. Sounds like she does, though.
She fixes, like, license plate problems and such like that. I didn't say I had a mechanical problem this time.
Sounds a bit illegal. Like, if you go any further, you're going to incriminate your mom.
That's true.
So
I'm not-
I don't know what that means. I'm going to stop right now.
That's a good call. I think the best option here would be to just hit our final break of the day. Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690. We'll be right back.
If you're about to pop the question, celebrate an anniversary or birthday,
Stop. Don't shop the large chain jewelry stores.
Beards Diamonds has been Jacksonville's diamond store for nearly 40 years.
And now it's Beards Diamonds' most exceptional finance offer of the year. 5 years, 0% financing with nothing down.
Shop Beards Diamonds everyday low price on anything in the store or shop and now purchase online at beardsdiamonds.com.
Divide your total price by 60, and that's your monthly payment with absolutely nothing down.
How about a $6,000 three-stone designer setting?
You pay only $100 a month.
Or a $4,500 one-carat diamond solitaire pendant necklace?
You pay just $75 a month.
Beard's Diamonds will never be beat on price.
Now's the time to get her the diamond ring she's always dreamed of.
And spread your payments out for 5 years and pay absolutely nothing in interest.
Get the lowest prices guaranteed at Beard's Diamonds at the St. John's Town Center or at beardsdiamonds.com.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. The education assistance I received made it possible for me to be the first person in my family to go to school and graduate debt-free. That education helped get me to the first day at my dream job, a job that I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job, plus the other benefits possible from the Army National Guard, helped me become a first-time homeowner. Also, part of my role as a National Guard soldier means I know that I can be one of the first to respond and help my community if disaster ever strikes. I'm extremely proud that I get to serve my community, and that first step I took by joining the Army National Guard has made all the difference in my life. Talk to your local recruiter or visit nationalguard.com to find out what firsts are available to you in the Army National Guard.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
For survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties, Hubbard House provides free, confidential emergency shelter and services. Call our 24-hour hotline at 904-354-3114.
If you're a veteran looking for direction, purpose, and community in civilian life, we've got your back. Warrior Week at Camp Southern Ground will give you the tools and training you need to thrive in life after military service, all at no cost to you. Get started today at campsouthernground.org.
Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe. You can watch us on CBS 47 and Fox 30. You can listen right here on ESPN 690, and you can subscribe to our YouTube and podcast, Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Action Sports Jacks. Watch, listen, subscribe.
5 minutes to go on a Friday. Action Sports Jacks Overtime, ESPN 690. I said what I said. Coming up in just a second, though, Jumbo Shrimp Baseball coming up the second after I said what I said, 6:50. And then a 7:05 first pitch for the Shrimp and the Redbirds. Shrimp just continue to dismantle the Memphis Redbirds. It's just been a shellacking of the Memphis Redbirds since they came into town. So hopefully that continues tonight when the Shrimp pick up yet another win against the Memphis Redbirds and throughout the weekend. We can't help. Brian, it's been a while since we've done I Said What I Said.
I know, man.
It feels like it's been forever.
Holy smokes, yeah, it is.
So.
You got something on your heart, though, that you want to share with the people? Still an abbreviated version of it.
Yeah. I got some. I got two things, actually, and both of them are positive. That's weird for me. That's like a new thing for me, but some positivity coming to you. And the first one is this. As horrible as some of the football was last night, as bad as they looked at times, I am so excited football is back. I get to this point every point in the year, not usually this early, because I don't care about the Hall of Fame game usually. I just care about who goes in the Hall of Fame, because usually I don't watch. This year, obviously, locked in, because Jags. But I'm just so excited. We're at that point of the year that the NFL is coming back. College football, an important thing to both me and you, is coming back. We got playoff time in baseball coming up as well, but football, the main course, absolutely. And Brian Middleton, I'm excited. I'm excited to be back. I'm excited to do Action Sports Jacks Overtime every single day of the week, which means we can be breaking down football 5 days a week going into football season. Brian, I'm just excited. I am just excited, Brian Middleton.
I said what I said.
Is that okay? Is it weird that I'm like positive?
It's weird. Yeah. I don't know if I like this positive Casey, but it'll grow on me.
Yeah, I got one more positive too, but anyway.
Well, do that one then.
No, you got one? You got it?
Yeah, but yours is much more faster. Go ahead, man. I'm gonna give you the floor.
Yeah, well, as well as American football.
Okay.
The Premier League came back today.
Okay.
Yeah, the preseason is over. Arsenal played today. Chelsea plays tomorrow. I'm excited for that. I'm just excited all of a sudden. Life is good, Brian Middleton. Excitement is there. We got soccer, we got football, we got baseball postseason. We get to talk about it on ESPN 690 every damn day of the week. And I'm excited, Brian Middleton.
Yeah.
I said what I said.
All right, Casey Kurtz, just to let you know, man, the guys are on. So here we go, man. My final
That was
one.
smooth. Well done.
Yeah, my final one is this guy named Mike James. Now, Mike James is Kevin Durant's friend, and he snitched on Kevin Durant in a podcast earlier, like last week, saying that KD called him before the NBA playoffs and told him that he'd be able to make it to Mike James's team's playoffs because he plays in the EuroLeague somewhere, the ASUN Conference of the EuroLeague or something like that. Before the playoffs, he said that my team was going to lose. That was KD. And then it came back on KD and talking about how KD didn't believe in his team. Mike James also said that Steph Curry is one-dimensional and he's not the primary, ball handler, offensive threat on the team.
Really?
Mike James, who played 3 seasons in the NBA for, Toronto, a little bit for Brooklyn, and some other team. Mike James, who scored 8 points a game in his 3 seasons and, 2.1 assists or something like that. Mike James, who couldn't hold Steph Curry's jockstrap,
He couldn't.
is out here talking about Steph Curry is one-dimensional. Brother, I don't even understand where to start. He's lucky it's an abbreviated version of this segment, or I'd be going in for the next 3 minutes. But Casey Kurtz, Mike James need to shut up forever.
I said what I said.
That's all I got.
I agree with you, and that's well done, Brian Middleton. We go down to the 121 Financial Ballpark, formerly the baseball grounds. That's what I was going to say. And Scott Kornberg, if you're there, I believe you're a Brooklyn Nets fan. How do you feel about KD knowing his team was going to lose in the first round of the playoffs?
They actually had a better point differential, though, than the next 2 opponents that Boston faced, and they were so undermanned. I want them to run it back because I think they've got a good roster again, and I know I'm the ultimate optimist, but I want them to run it back.
You know, it's funny you say that, the ultimate optimist. I don't talk about you in my personal life a lot, Scott, but I happened to be the other day. I forget who I was telling. And I was like, if there's one person on the planet that's never said anything negative about anybody, it's Scott Kornberg.
That's not that true. We all have our moments, right? But I try to see the best and have empathy and all those positive things. But I'm also human. But yeah, I think the Nets could be really good. I think they could. It could all blow up in their face, but I think it's better than the alternative and just getting back 50 cents in the dollar for the second best basketball player since Jordan.
Wow. You heard him say that, Brian Middleton? The second best basketball player since Jordan, he said.
Hey, man, we all can't be 100% right. I don't hold that against Scott.
Okay. Very good. Very good. We can't all 100% be right.
You took a page out of my book. I like that.
There we go.
Nice guy.
Gentlemen, we got Brian Anderson on rehab, right? John Birdie as well, I think I saw on the Twitter.
And Cole Sulcer, but Anderson, Birdie not going to play today, most likely. Sulcer, a shot, but also I would say unlikely, but they all will be here this weekend and probably most likely to play tomorrow in the tandem of all 3 of those guys.
I love it. I'm glad to see it. And if you want to see them play, go down to the ballpark. Otherwise, listen right here to Scott Kornberg and Matt Davis on the call. Gentlemen, have a great weekend. Have a great call. We'll talk to you again on Tuesday.
Yeah, you guys as well. Happy weekend to you. I'm telling you, Brian, I'm taking KD over Kobe. I'm taking KD over Steph with a lot of respect to both those guys, but I'm still putting them right behind LeBron. Anyway, Matt Davis doesn't have any controversial takes. He does have Shrimp on Deck. That's next in the Jumbo Shrimp Network powered by FIS.